So,
But then Metal Gear Survive came out, and I
Yes, I found
smiled.
it.
All right, are we good to go there, boys?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yep. Gotta get in the tabletop.
There we go. Got that. Got that. Got that. Looks good.
Found it.
That's what we need. Fucker. This song's so good.
I'm just joining in the tabletop right now.
Yep, hop into tabletop, please. The game room is there. Welcome back to another game of Skyfall 5e, everybody. It's good to see you. How was the week? Or 2 weeks, rather.
Very good. Very good and very long.
Uneventful.
I've got to refresh because I'm only seeing Z's.
What?
He's
I'm
dying.
only seeing Z's.
Oh.
You're sleeping.
No, Z Cerberus. Cerberus.
What are
I'm
you
not
talking
seeing
about?
Illusion's thing.
He's having a stroke. It's
Okay.
happening.
So anyway,
Finally.
we'll
I
slide right
may
into
not be
this.
able to be on the tabletop.
Were you
'cause
guys
it's not funny here.
where you guys picked up, you had just disembarked from a cruise ship of sorts. There was a large sailing vessel that you had secured passage on, and you found that the majority of the patrons, probably about 80% of them, basically everybody except for the help and a couple of stingy and antisocial dwarves, were all kind of wrapped into this sort of gambling ring that they would repeatedly go to every evening. And you guys made some friends, as well as making some money, and then lost a bunch of money. There were also some escapades involving work that happened during this voyage, and eventually you managed to pull into Orus Ren without being attacked by pirates or destroyed in a storm or anything like that. Now, your ship has just landed at the pier, and everybody has disembarked, leaving your group all together, kind of standing there on this long stone walkway that extends out into the water, where there's a whole bunch of ships attached. And you can see way off in the opposite direction what looks like the huge city of Orisren, the capital of one of the largest powers in the world. And there are huge, magnificent, like white, sort of like marble buildings that rise up, and gigantic walls with fortifications that would put most other cities to shame. Now, Table Talk, one of your characters, is not here. Ashley's missing. She's going to be sick, so she will follow along, but will not be present for combat, and will simply be kind of, feeling ill for the next little bit. Hopefully she'll be back in an hour. So, standing there on the pier, what do you guys want to do?
Well, we definitely need. I need to get a little more information on these mountain range that we're going into. So, I've got to go to the library. Anyone else is welcome to join me.
All right. Yeah. Of course.
Real quickly going into the table talk already. Would I be able to walk outside and then go into these, like, not far into them, but look around and see?
What are you
Look around and
talking
see
about?
Like, look around in the, at the mountains and stuff like that to see, like, because I'm from mountains, so.
Oh, I see what you're getting at. Definitely. However, the mountains are far away. So from your point right now, inside of the port, you can see that over the tops of these large fortifications, some of the surrounding wilderness can be seen, mainly the tops of the mountains of Marcon, way off in sort of northwest region. That is your destination, and that's where you're going to be going to, but it is far off, and you can tell even just from how far it is from here that it's going to be days and days to travel there. So it's not something that you can just kind of, pop out of the wall, take an hour stroll, and be there, sort of thing. If you look at the map, you can see exactly where the mountains are and everything.
Okay. Then I may as well go with Tidge and look at the mountains, or read about them. Except I'll look at pictures because I can't read.
Christ. Okay.
Once they start walking, I'll follow them. I just want to kind of note where the library is and keep track of the path from the dock to the library, because I'll probably part ways with them once we get there.
Okay. Now, the city of Oris Ren is new for all of you guys, right? Or was there somebody who's from here?
I'm from Orisren.
Okay. So, Tidge, you're the only person who's really familiar with this town. And I would say that if you grew up here, you would know where basically everything is. Now, granted, you've been on expeditions repeatedly for multiple years, and things may have changed. Certain shops may have closed, and others may have opened up. But you know where all the major stuff is. So as long as the group is with you, you can easily just go, yeah, that's down there, yeah, that's over there, it's 10 minutes over in that direction, that kind of thing.
Cool.
Now, as you wander off the pier, the first area that your group steps into is the sort of like the water side, where most of the populace likes to hang out. And for you guys, this is a very, very busy place filled with people kind of moving boxes and crates, as well as people who seem to be just kind of chatting and shooting the shit on the side of the road. Tidge, you know that most people go here just to kind of get a bite from the local watering hole or to kill time. And so there's a lot of people that are just kind of milling about. And most of the shops here that face outwards into the ocean area, like into the port, are all little eateries. You can see like little taverns and other little shops where people are kind of sitting about and eating meals behind nice windows and stuff like that. Now, are you guys splitting up? Is that what I heard? And some of you are going for a library and some of you for something else?
No, I'm following the group until the library, and then I'm going to kind of assess the situation there.
Now, you guys go heading off into the city, and Tidge, you know where the archive is, and you've done some reading here before. Having lived in the city and doing the kind of work that you do, you're familiar with this and can kind of find books in here with ease. When you guys get in front of the thing, there is a small toll to be paid to the city, and they charge you 2 silver for entry. So anybody who's going to be going in there will have to pay the guard, who expectantly is there by the door waiting.
Well, have fun in there. I'm going to see if I can find a bank. Might be able to, with family name, secure some funds. Who knows? We're a bit far from home, but I know you all are completely piss poor, so I'll see what I can do.
I'll fumble around the 4 silver pieces in my pocket. Like, look at the guy asking for the toll, feel the coins, look at the guy, look at Edgar. Do you mind if I tag along with you?
Sure, absolutely. As in, I do mind. And then I'll just kind of smile and just wait for his reaction.
I'll not really get his joke at first. Be maybe like a little disappointed and be like, oh.
I'm just letting it hang.
Oh. Oh. Right. You're. Okay, I get it.
Do you?
One day I might. I'm sorry. And I'll just kind of like laugh a little bit and
All right. Well,
expectantly
looks like we're
look at
gonna
the
be
others.
splitting up. All right. Well, we know where you guys are. How long do you think you're gonna take?
Well, I don't know really. It depends on how much information I get. I'm planning on being here as long as, well, getting as much information as possible. So we'll see. But
All right. Well,
I mean, if you're going to a bank, I have a rough idea of where you'll be ending up. So I'm sure I can find you.
do you actually have any recommendations in that case?
Do I have any recommendations?
Ooh. I would say that you do. There is a number of smaller little groups that you could easily name for Edgar to go to, or you could send him to a central bank, which is run out of the main building. There's a huge complex here, which you can basically see at any time, unless you're in like a shoddy little alley. It rises up multiple stories above the other buildings, and Out of this large complex, all of the government work is done for the Empire of Aurelium, and they have a major bank there that you could also go to. So it's whether or not you think like a smaller one or a larger one would be best. It's up to you.
So what's your preference, Edgar? Because if you take a look over there, that's like the central bureaucracy of this entire place. So there's like the biggest bank that you can find here. Otherwise, I could probably name a few of the smaller ones, little money changers here and there.
Yeah, I don't think small is gonna cut it. I'm not looking to secure a lot of funds, to be honest, but I don't think a small bank is gonna be able to loan off name alone. So, you know, if I can just secure at least 20, 30, 50 gold to buy supplies and keep you guys from starving, for Christ's sake, I might be able to do that. But again, no promises. This kind of thing doesn't always work so far from home. But yeah, I'll go after and I'll just nod my head towards the big fuck off building. Head over there and see what I can do.
Alright, that'll be your best bet.
I'll like shrug, like kind of like yep, I guess.
Okay. So, Arillo, where are you going? I'm going to say that Annabelle will probably follow in Calyx's footsteps here. Just make sure he stays out of trouble and gets fed. Where do you want to go?
I'm going with Tidge.
Sure.
You know, maybe try and read.
Maybe try and read. Okay,
What's
good.
your intelligence?
Well, my intelligence is shit, I believe. Yeah, my intelligence is
yeah.
a negative
Yeah, you
minus
probably
1
can't
or an
read.
8. Yeah, I can't read.
No worries. I'm sure they have a picture book or two in the library.
Yeah. Like a child's pop-up book.
Do you guys have the 2 silver?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll cover it.
Woo! That could have been half your fucking net income there, buds.
It's rough to have to ask that. So you guys go and wander off, and this massive building that's been pointed out to you guys in the distance is always available for you to see, so you don't even need directions. You just start wandering roughly in that area.
Here's the thing. I'm not gonna tell. Fuck. What the? Yeah, I'm not gonna tell. No, it's not Tidge. I'm not gonna tell Kalik what I'm looking for, but I'm gonna be looking for a kind of nice barber on my way.
Sure. So we'll start with the library, as you guys are already there. After paying the 2 silver, the guard kind of gives you guys a nod. Tells you, you know, be quiet inside there. And you have to clear up by the end of the day. Tells you the basic stuff. You can rent books if, you know, your credit is good enough, and if you're a friend of the archives. After that, you guys kind of step in. You can see these massive shelves and these different categories for all the books and everything, and there is a good number of people in here, actually. It's not noisy, per se, but there's always, like, you know, the pitter-patter of footsteps and pages being turned, that sort of thing. Where are you guys going, and what are you looking for?
Alright, so I'm kind of looking for like the National Geographic section, like wherever they would kind of give like the information of what to expect in that sort of area. So like
looking for the African titties. Let's be honest.
I was gonna say, yeah, he's looking for the African kids.
no, maybe perks.
Okay. I would say that you would be able to find that relatively easily. I'm gonna roll luck for you to see if you get if they have a good book on that kind of thing. Oh, that's unfortunate. You don't find much. There is a bunch of texts on the surrounding lands and things like that. As far as the mountains go, there's not a whole lot on them, and you don't find anything that's been written specifically about the mountains. Only the kind of passing phrase that mentions it as just being another thing that's sort of by. There doesn't really appear to be much in terms of legend that's really attached to it. You do see that there's that it's been given its name to honor like an old leader kind of thing, and so it's very little that kind of goes on here.
Okay. So that being said, would there be kind of like sort of like memoirs or kind of like journals of people who may have adventured in that area, or would that fall under the lack of local lore?
I'd say that there might be something. Let's see. Oh, wow. One by one, you go through the books and go to see if you can find anything. And there are different people who've made expeditions in the area, who've kind of left their logs here at the archives, and you're hoping to find something in there. And once again, nobody seems to really go to those mountains. Now, there is note on the hills in between here and there. And people have put sightings of strange beasts in the area, and they strongly advise to stay to the roads and to not travel through the hills unless you have to. And people who go through those hills are usually only like riders that come in from the desert who are here to make a trade over in Sren. But they advise against going through the area as large creatures seem to kind of prowl through those hills. Mountains themselves are a crapshoot, and there's no real writing on them.
All right. Could I find a like a librarian or somebody I know from who seems like would know a lot more about the town? Or they say like they could point me in the right direction or someplace.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, you could look around for that. We'll cut over for a brief moment.
Sure.
Edgar, how about you make me a luck check? Let's see if you find that barber.
Sure.
Which one of these dice will it be? So many.
Disco Funk is just outstanding, so I'm gonna keep that one. Alright, Chitlin, earn your name.
Oh,
Pure 8.
pure 8. Go looking around for a barbershop along the way, and you find that you're mostly just passing through what looks to be normal housing, and you don't run into a shop. Now, there are other districts in here that you could go out of your way to bump into one, but just like acting naturally, going off towards that thing, you don't see anything.
Okay. I think it's gonna be worth doing a detour. Can I catch someone that's maybe walking by and ask him a question?
Sure. Yeah. You see what looks to be like a basic craftsman kind of wandering by. He's got like that leather apron on and everything, and a hammer sort of slung over his shoulder. You kind of stop him on the road there. He looks over and goes, "What do you need?"
Hey, friend. Look, I've kind of got an important meeting coming up, and and I kind of rub my my chin, kind of looking a bit scruffy here. I was wondering where I can get you know, a good shave.
Oh. I actually know somebody. My neighbor actually down the road. She gives a good shave if you're, you know, looking to save a buck.
Money isn't really an issue, and I mean no offense, of course, to your neighbor, but I'm looking for a good spot. This is important.
Well, if you're looking for one of the fancier spots, there's definitely something down in the market. It's just down the street.
Any and I'll kind of nod in appreciation. Anyone in particular you hear of?
Oh, haven't had the beard trimmed anywhere but in the neighborhood for quite some time.
I'll kind of smile and nod and thank you for your time. And I'll start, and I'll kind of point in the direction and then look back to him to confirm, like, is that the way I should go?
Yeah, he gives you a nod and keeps going down the road.
Cool. Okay, so I'll keep going.
Now, eventually, your group opens up into this large market area where there's a number of different stalls and businesses, and you can see that pretty much everything that you could want here. You see armorers, blacksmiths, the whole thing. However, you also bump into numerous shops that look like they would do that kind of thing, you know, advertising shaves and haircuts and the like.
I'll look over to Kalik. Which one do you fancy most?
Kind of look around. Not sure. Sorry. I'm not really well versed in the arts of haircutting.
My God, surrounded by incompetent people. Let's see here. And I kind of say that lightly, not as like a mean jab.
Hmm.
I'll look up through the shops. I'm looking for a nice one, something that's got like a regal appearance, like Jacob and Sons.
Right. You can see that there is a couple of them that look like they're sort of for like the merchants and middle class, and then there's one that actually has a number of people in them who are like extremely well dressed, and that one sticks out as being like the spot that the nobles go to. Its appearance isn't really all that different from the other shop, but from the clientele you can see there's a difference going on.
Cool. I'll walk towards that one.
Sure. When you step inside, the door opens with a little ring as you tap the bell on the way in, and you can see that there's a few people who are currently facing mirrors and being tended to, though there's like mild dividers in between them that kind of give an air of privacy. And there's a woman over there at the counter who immediately kind of turns to you, says, "Hey guys,
Hi. Let's do shave and a haircut for 2, please.
oh, she kind of like looks over and then takes a moment to stare at you and then over at Kalik. She goes, well, just this way then, and starts to wander off down.
As I'll kind of slow my pace and I'll look over. What?
For 2?
Yeah. Don't you have the coin for a haircut?
Ruffle the coins in my pocket again.
I'll laugh. Look. This one's on me. You can owe me, but we can't go.
Look,
asking-
I already owe you.
Well, you'll owe me more. Don't worry. No contract for this one.
There's a board nearby that has the prices, and you can see that a simple shave and a haircut runs a gold piece here, which
Cool.
is a lot for a haircut when it comes to
Edgar would be
the
like,
D&D world.
whatever. I'll look down to Kayla. Look, if I'm gonna play the part of a noble, I'm gonna need to look like one. So let's get on with it.
Ah, right. Do you want me to pretend I'm your secretary or something like that?
Whatever you're comfortable with.
Fair enough.
And I'll walk on, and I'll kind of brisk like up my pace so I can catch up to her as she's walking towards the chairs there.
Okay. She shows you 2 of the seats at the back there, and there's a set of people who are kind of waiting by them, and you see a man who looks like he's kind of just moving his straight razor back and forth on the strop, keeping all of his stuff ready, and likewise for the other one. And immediately, Kalik, one of them turns to you and is like, oh, have a seat, sir.
Right. I'll get comfortable.
Another one turns over towards you there, Edgar, and says, what can I do for you?
Well, trim the beard, the hair, shave the neck, cheeks. We'll be good to go.
Short?
Keep the beard a good length. Hair long in the front. Keep it short all the way around.
Yeah, he gives you a nod, and Kalik, you're asked the same thing, and how would you reply?
Make
Oh, hi.
me. Just want to look presentable, please. Nothing fancy. Just clean it up.
I can do that. Yeah, he starts to work away here, sharpening his tools. He comes over and begins to make small nips here and there, and takes some water and combs out what bits of hair you have. And meanwhile, over on the other side, your character is a little bit chatty there, Edgar. And the man cutting your hair immediately kind of, while straightening out your beard, though, says, oh, it's a bit scruffy. Pardon my manners. You've been out in the wilderness for a bit.
Yeah, let's just say I haven't had the time to keep it prim and proper like usual.
You don't exactly behave like all the rabble around here.
In what way is that?
Pardon me again, but what I mean to say is, You carry yourself like a gentleman, but you've got the beard of a homeless man.
I'll kind of genuinely laugh. Look, when you have the bearing and the birthright of a noble, but your calling is war, something's got to give. Am I right?
Not too much fighting around these parts. What brings you out?
Oh, let's just say someone owes me something, and I want to make sure that I collect. And someone else is on a bit of a journey, and I'm going to help them out.
Like to look nice while collecting the coin. Well,
Sure, let's leave it at that.
give you the same treatment I would for any other nobles that would come and sit in my chair.
And throw some soap in there if you can.
He gives you a pat on the shoulder and continues snipping away. And do you guys talk to your barbers about anything during this? Or do we fast forward to the end?
Oh, I'm like, personally, I'm straight up like scooting my ass forward and like almost taking a nap. Basically, I'm just relaxed.
Okay. Yeah, the
This
sounds of
was
snipping-
Edgar's this was Edgar's like routine back in the day. He's just
Okay. Having been on the road for so long and been on a creaky ship with nowhere to go, it's nice to finally just, sit back in a comfortable chair and sort of get some shut-eye to the sound of pleasant little snips around your chin there and whatnot. As for you, Kalik, do you mention anything? Your barber doesn't seem to talk unless you do.
Nah.
Okay. He's silent, but it's quite pleasant. And meanwhile, off in the library, I want you to make a luck roll, Tidge, to see if anybody here at the archive knows you.
Okay. 11.
Okay. Some of the faces here have changed, but you managed to pick out somebody here. He's not really a friend or an enemy, just kind of somebody who works at the archives, who has been here since your time years ago. And when you look at him, he has that moment of like, oh, and, kind of just gives you a wave. If you want to go talk to somebody who you're familiar with, this would be the guy.
Alright, yeah, I'll approach.
Okay. He kind of looks over and he goes, what was it again?
Tidge, Brindlestock,
Right.
must say.
Looking
Yes.
for an expedition, was it, last time you were in?
I was, you've got a good memory.
How did that
What?
turn out?
Not the best. Kind of petered out a little bit towards the end.
Vietnam War
Fun.
flashbacks.
Funds ran a bit dry, you know how that goes.
Sorry to hear that. Well,
Yeah.
did you find what you were looking for?
Well, I'm on the right track. I found part of it, but there's still a bit more. I haven't quite gotten my grail yet. But currently I'm looking for a bit of information, and I'm pretty much coming up empty here.
He
I
gives
wrote
you
my-
a nod.
Yeah, my path takes me down to the, or actually I should up to, rather, the mountains of Markarth. And I
Oh,
found some information about the hills, but anything about the mountain seems to elude my grasp.
I can't say that I've looked into that at all. Reading a lot of fiction lately. Have you checked the local geography at all?
I did spend a bit of time over there, but again, it was not so successful. Now, it's been a little while since I've been in town. Are there any new historians or perhaps people from across the way, who may have been through there or by there, might have a little more information that you could think of?
He pauses for a second and ponders on it. Eventually kind of turns back to you and says, "See travelers sometimes, but nobody headed that way."
Seems like nobody ever heads up that way.
Well, can't think of a reason why they'd want to.
Yeah, the hills present quite a bit of a challenge from the sounds of it, so God only knows what the mountains hold.
He nods to you and says, yeah, I've heard reports. Nothing good.
That's about what I've gotten as well.
Well, the riders that come into town say that they use their horses to escape. Apparently the beasts that live out there aren't too fast, so...
Yes, I came across something like that as well. Maybe.
Sorry it couldn't be more help. The archives haven't had much literature recently.
Well, it's never a wasted trip in here. This is like a second home to me. Tell me, have there been any riders lately? Any new arrivals?
I'm certain there's some. You get travel down here into the capital often. You can recognize them quite easily. They always have a number of horses they have to travel with, so usually around the stables or down by the port where everybody else is. Head wraps and the wavy clothing.
Yes.
The desert people look, they all kind of seem to use the same fashion.
Well, I guess that might be my next stop then. Look, it's been good to see you.
Gives you a nod. Well, good luck on your next expedition then.
Why, thank you. What was your name again?
Ah.
I'm afraid my memory's not as great as it perhaps could be.
He tells you that his name is... he tells you that his name is Docha. And I'll give that to you here if you need to come back to the archives at some point.
Sweet, spelled it right. Well, Docha, you've been quite a bit of a help, so... It's good. It's always good to see a familiar face, especially when you've been gone as long as I have.
He gives you a
Yes, I'm off.
smile and a nod.
Yes, I'm off to the stables then.
Good luck.
Thanks. Enjoy your reading.
He gives you another nod and kind of wanders off down the aisle.
Well, Aurelio, that was a bit of a bust.
I would say. God damn it! What did I just do? I would say.
That was a bit strange there. I've never heard you talk like that. You're spending a little too much time around me. Am I
Yeah,
rubbing
it's-
off on you?
Just a little.
But it seems like our next destination is going to be the stables.
It would
So-
seem that way. I guess we might as well head over that way.
Sure.
Unless you want to meet up with the others.
Who knows how long they'll take. To be honest, I expected to be here a little longer. But
Yeah.
I think if we leave word with the doorman, then he saw them before, so he can point them in the right direction.
Alright. Well, let's get what we need.
So you guys head
Yeah,
off.
I guess I am starting to pick up your accent.
And meanwhile, you guys finish up with your shave there. Do you tip at all, or just pay the gold?
I tip a gold.
Sure. You tip a gold to the barber there, and he kind of gives you a nod and says, "Oh, thank you, sir."
And
then
I'll just nod like, oh no, you know what? I'll just keep it as that, and then Kayla can get the dirty eye for not tipping. It's all good.
I'll tip a silver.
Oh.
he kind of looks at it. Thank you.
Just kind of nod.
When you guys step out, you're feeling good. There's a certain closeness of shave that you get from, somebody else's, how should I put it, experienced hand that is rather difficult to recreate on your own. And as you step outside, the wind kind of feels nice on your face, and additional hair is out of the way and everything. Having seen what you looked like in the mirror before stepping out, you also know that the both of you look at the top of your game, I guess you could say.
Swagalicious.
My, Edgar, you're looking quite dashing.
Was I not before?
How about me? Do I look like $1 million? And I'll spin my pistol in my hand.
Well, Kalik, you look exactly the same.
Then what the point? What the hell?
I'll not. No. Definitely. And I'll give him that, like, you know, I forget. I don't even know what this is called. I'm doing it in real life, which obviously doesn't help you. But the finger and the thumb doing the circle with all the other fingers
Oh, the
up, like
OK
the
sign.
okay. Yeah.
Index to
Um,
thumb circle. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. Well, to the big buildings we go, I guess.
Okay.
And I'll kind of just check my backpack to make sure that I have my document of birthright, and I'll just kind of fill my sigil ring here on my hand as well. Just make sure I have everything I need.
Sure. All of your belongings are there. And you notice something else. After checking through your backpack and everything, you're reminded of how sometimes these busy streets can kind of be a cesspool for crime and petty thievery. There doesn't really seem to be much like that at all around here. And though you bump into the occasional person that looks down on their luck, you don't see, like, the gangs of sort of like shoddy youngsters wandering around looking to pocket a few extra pieces of coin or anything like that. It's everything's very prim and proper in the city. Now you kind of wander out of the market and leave those sounds behind and travel towards this large building to find a massive courtyard all around the outside. And there are different officials who are standing around talking with one another. The building itself is only accessible through like multiple steps leading up and up and up to these huge entryways where there's massive sort of like Roman columns all over the place. And you get up there, you kind of enter into a massive foyer where different officials seem to be talking to citizens and helping them out and showing them where to go, as there's like a ton of different doors and halls that lead off into different parts of the complex. And somebody approaches you very quickly. You see a woman kind of runs over towards you guys. She looks like she's maybe in like her late teens or something like that, and has a bundle of scrolls in hand. And she goes, "Hey guys, where are we going to?"
I'll kind of look over her head. I'll be scanning, and I'm not going to answer her right away.
She kind of looks over at you, Kalik. Can I help you two?
My. I'm not quite sure. I'm sorry. Are you from around here?
She gives you like a very swift nod and a smile afterwards. Yep.
Kalik, stop hitting on her, and just
What?
tell her what we're here for.
We're just visiting the bank.
I'm just smirking up top as I keep looking over and just kind of eyeing everything.
She looks like she's trying to start like 3 different sentences, repeatedly like stopping herself along the way as Edgar speaks. And then when he finishes his line, she just kind of points and kind of directs you to a hallway nearby and just goes, third on the left. Bye.
Oh, thank you.
She kind of turns and wanders off.
Well, you could have got her name at least.
What's your name?
She disappears into the crowd.
What
All right.
the hell was that?
Well, clearly you're not one for improvisation. I'm not sure what you're good at this point, but let's get our story straight. What's your last name, Kalik?
Kavanaugh.
Kavanaugh?
Mhm.
Kalik Kavanaugh, you are a scribe to the Lyle family, to Edgar specifically. We are here to get a loan to fund an expedition to the mountains, which we will pay in kind within 90 days. We are looking to secure 200 gold, which will be our starting point, which will negotiate down to roughly 50 to 100. We understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so for the sake of negotiating, I'm gonna, try to let you do some preliminary talking. We'll try to really sell the noble thing because I'm not great at it to begin with.
And you
Better at
think
super-
I am?
It'll sound better coming from you,
Mm.
especially if it's just me with there in the documents. I'll talk when I need. So it's time for you to rise up to the occasion and earn that haircut of yours. And yeah, I'll be right next to you. So hopefully we can get some money. And also, please let them know that I'll cough and I'll look to my left and right. This stays between us. Tell them I'm a paladin of Metri. That kind of oath goes a long way in places like this, okay?
Right. Is that why you're so good at writing up contracts in the first place?
That would be it, yeah.
Hmm.
It's a passion of mine, and it's a passion that my god shares as well. So, let's go. Third on the left. You lead the way.
Right.
Okay. You travel down the hall and eventually turn into the room. And it's not nearly as noisy as in the main hall that you guys were in, where there's people kind of wandering back and forth and guards here and there. When you step in, everybody here is kind of in a, like a low tone. And you soon find a teller you're able to kind of wander up towards. And he gives you a look for a moment, staring at you. He removes a monocle that he has there that he was using to read some papers. He says, yes.
Good day, sir.
Good day.
My name's Kalik. I'm a scribe for my lord, Edgar Lyle. We're
Of
here
course.
to arrange an agreement, terms for a loan.
Ah. He turns over and says, Your Lordship, have you any papers?
Of course. And I'll hand them to Kalik. And while I hand them over, I'll hand it over with my hand that has a signet ring as well, and I'll just kind of try to make it obvious.
And before I hand it over, I'm gonna thumb through the papers to make sure they're all there.
Sure.
Looks like everything's here.
You slide these underneath the little glass pane there, and he looks at them on his desk and momentarily takes what looks to be a couple of different magnifying glasses to them. And eventually he says, Let me look up a few things. I'll be back in a moment.
Of course. Take all the time you need.
Kind of gets up and wanders off with your papers, leaving you guys for a minute. Do you guys chat at all?
Yeah, I'll look down to Kalik. I'll be like, well, let's hope Dad's credit is as good as when I left.
I just kind of like, at first, like, bite my teeth together, and I'm like, am I doing it right? Is this how you do it?
And I kind of nod in a very genuine way, like you're killing it, basically.
He wanders back and sits down in front of you and kind of slides the papers back and says, Everything's been verified. How much are you looking for this loan?
We are looking to acquire around 200 gold, with a 90-day pay period or repayment period. Something on the lines of that.
He gives you a nod and then turns and produces a few papers from a little cupboard nearby. He writes a few things on them and then slides them over. He says, Lord, your signature, please.
Of course. And I'll hand over. Does he have a pen?
Yep, he's got one there by the page.
I'll kind of halt because I heard Kalik say something.
Before you sign, my lord, may I take a look at
Sure.
the papers?
Of course.
And I want to, like, briefly read over the terms.
Sure. Make an
To make
intelligence roll for me.
Sure. What the fuck? That's a nat one.
Killing it.
Yeah.
I've never rolled this bad consecutively over the course of a couple sessions.
You're just paging through and you're like, derivatives? What is that? Holding period? What? How?
I'll be panicking in my head, but try not to show it. Everything seems to be in order, my lord. Just like hand it over.
I'd like you to make an insight check, please, Edgar.
Sure. Alright, Disco Funk, you've served me well. Oh, okay. Not bad. Insight is 4, so that's a 16.
Not only can you tell that your scribe, heavy quotation marks, has no idea what he's doing, but you also know that the teller knows that he has no idea what he's doing. And he's just kind of got this unimpressed look on his face, like, just like watching as a bead of sweat goes down his forehead.
I'll kind of. This won't be very polite, but I'll nudge him out of the way a little bit. And what I'd like to do is I'll take out my amulet to Metri out from under my clothing. I'll take it up. I'll just give it a quick kiss, and I'll start looking over the documents.
Sure. Go ahead and make a int roll, please.
Oof, not good. I don't have any advantage because, I do contracts.
I would say no, especially given that this is a foreign land.
So if it's straight int, it's a flat 9.
Flat 9. There are portions of this contract that you're actually unfamiliar with. Some of the writing and the things that it refers to are a little bit obtuse, but that which you do understand seems pretty straightforward. The 200 gold is to be repaid in full after the 90 days, and if you miss those 90 days, then interest applies, and it rapidly goes up. And you can see that the rate that's there is not favorable, but they don't seem to charge anything as long as you pay them back on time.
I'll kind of look at the paper, look at the teller, look at the paper.
He looks at you and says, "Everything's in order, sir."
For the bank, certainly. And I'll kind of let out a small chuckle. Very well. Well, no cost up front. Fair is fair. And I'll take out the pen and I'll sign it.
Okay. When you sign
and
it...
I'll say sorry, that prayer of Metri, that kind of binding.
Okay.
Prayer,
Say the binding, and then eventually hand it over, and when he takes the papers, he kind of, gives you a nod, puts a few stamps on them, signs a few places of his own, and then slides it away, and then simply turns to you and says, "Now, what denominations would you like? Platinum, gold?"
I'll take 50 in gold.
Oh, and the
10 in
rest in plat?
No. 50 in gold, 10 in plat, and the rest in silver.
Okay. So you can go ahead and add that to your inventory. He, one by one, kind of pulls out these stacks of coin, counting through them, slides all of it over, says, "Very well. Pleasure doing business with the Lyles, as usual." And then just kind of gives you the equivalent of like a bow from a seated position.
I'll take back my nobility papers, I guess, or whatever you call them. I'll nod in kind, although nod is low. And I'll just kind of give a curt nod and 180 and start walking out.
Good day.
Still kind of frozen in place, walking away, and I'll just kind of look at the teller, look at him, and I'll just kind of nod at him again, and then just scurry off.
When you pause there and Edgar's already walking away, he looks to you and just kind of like deadpan stares at you till you turn to leave.
Worst scribe ever.
Okay, Edgar, you are 200 gold richer. Well,
So
various denominations.
right, so platinum is 10 gold each,
Yes.
right?
So you would have 10 platinum, 50 gold, and
50 silver.
no 500
no.
silver.
500 silver.
Yeah,
Right.
you got a lot of silver.
Okay.
Rich motherfucker.
You have 10 pounds worth of silver.
Yeah.
I'll kind of hoist it up into a bag then.
Mm-hmm.
And just walk out like I own the place. Straight up.
Okay. Meanwhile, elsewhere in town, the two of you have left the library and are searching for something in particular. What is it that you're looking for?
Yeah, well, we're going down to the stables, but we would have left word with the doorman there. To if he sees a couple of tieflings and a dour-looking human,
Sure.
to let him know where we've gone.
Okay.
To the stables.
So you guys go wandering off towards the stables, and you know where this is in town, having lived here. It doesn't take you long. There are tons of these businesses, massive stables all over the place. And you know that some of these are private and others are owned by the city, and they have a very clear sign that shows which ones are the cities and which ones are private groups. And at some of these, you can see, just wandering through the streets, what clearly looks like the black horses of the desert people, as well as some of them kind of standing outside and chit-chatting. And they're not exactly the same as the rest of the Aurelians here. They look like they're all seated down, like in the road, not on chairs or anything, sort of like cross-legged, talking with one another.
All right. I'll pick out whichever ones look the most approachable.
Sure. There is a group nearby of about 3 of them kind of seated, and they look like they're just kind of small talking. You kind of walk over towards them, and one of them turns in your direction and kind of gives you a wave.
All right. Is it morning at this point or like afternoon?
It is... I think you pulled into the harbor early in the morning, right? So
Yeah.
It's probably
So
like
it'd be like
late morning, early afternoon,
Do you
that kind
guys,
of thing.
do you guys, sorry to interrupt, do you guys have like a rough timeline, like how long we were on the ship, what date it is currently? I don't know if Aleutian will give us
I
that,
have
but I don't know.
timelines, but I don't know if you guys do.
Yeah. I know you and Connor were pretty diligent with that up until the ship.
for a while. It was the 14th of spring when we got to the staircase. And that's the
Fuck.
last date I recorded.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Damn.
You guys
Connor,
are in for a rude
nothing better?
awakening.
I do not have.
Well, that's why
Well.
we live in a world populated by people who know the date.
Don't you have
And-
keen mind? No, you took something
and,
else, didn't you?
I don't know.
No, I
And-
have keen mind.
Oh, okay. So you remember everything within the last 30 days, right?
Yep.
Huh. So how long were we on the ship for?
You guys were on the ship for almost about a week, I believe.
Almost a week or a week?
I would say that you could get the time from somebody just going by. You would know that it is the... 43rd.
43rd, and we just landed, and I'm gonna say the first night we played dice was probably day 2, right? Of the voyage.
I can't
think.
remember if...
Mhm.
Yeah, because I don't think you guys did
Yeah.
anything on the first one. You just got...
No,
No,
I
it
think
it was-
day 2.
It's the second.
So let's say 5 days ago. So that would be the 38th. Sorry, I'm just tracking time to make sure that the interest starts accumulating for you, Kalik.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, no problem.
Fuck
Yay.
me.
Like, oh shit. Okay, and we're currently in the 43rd. Awesome. I also need to keep track of my own loans. It's something Edgar would know, but something me in real life is fucking bad at. 3rd.
Okay. Do you have what you need there?
I do, yes. Sorry for interrupting.
It's all good. One of the desert people seems to be the first to speak to you, Tidge, and as you wander over, he kind of gives you a look, gives you a nod, saying, "Good day, my friend."
Good day to you. Quite a pleasant day here on the shoreline. Tell me, are you guys, if you don't mind me asking, I'm looking for a bit of information here, and word is that nobody knows more about the surrounding territory than the desert folk.
If it is north that you speak of, then yes.
In a way, it's specifically I'm looking for any information you might have on the mountains to the northwest. Excuse me. I've already been to the mountains in the northeast.
the mountains are not a place that we spend time at.
You know, it seems like that's the way that most people operate. Most people seem to keep their distance.
It is a place where legends go to die, they say.
Starting to believe that the more I start to dig. Now, can you tell me, do you have any sort of legends of your own or myths that surround such a daunting place?
He kind of
Okay.
looks at the others, and they kind of give each other a look, and he turns back and says, "None that can be remembered."
All right.
Tell
Well,
me, friend, you are to travel to the mountains then.
that is my plan.
Think twice before doing so.
I will take your advice, but well, I would take your advice, I should say, but unfortunately, duty binds me. I have no real choice but to head to the mountains. If you can advise perhaps a better way, I hear that avoiding the hills or the hills are a bit treacherous, but
We
sadly,
often
I
say that a law which gets you killed is not a good law.
I suppose there's some wisdom in that. But unfortunately, it's not a law that drives me forward. And I understand that you're speaking figuratively, but I have a lot resting on this. I thank you for your time. But
It
I
gives
won't
you a
bother you
nod.
any further.
Travel safe, my friend.
Thank you. I need as much good luck as I can get.
Gives you a genuine smile, and then goes back to talking to the others. And one of them immediately, like, even while you're still in earshot, is like, will not last long.
I won't think much of it. I'll kind of glance to the side, but like after I turn around, but it's fine.
Okay.
I'd like to go and find a stable that I would be familiar with that would have reasonable prices for like renting horses.
Sure. You step into a stable nearby and can see that the cost for renting a horse varies on the amount of time that you need it for. Renting it for a day of riding around doesn't seem to cost much. Or sorry, it does seem to cost quite a bit. But the longer that you have them rented for, the kind of lower the rates are. They also seem to want a deposit for you to loan them. Either that, or you have to have some sort of like nobility backing it up, or a business that you can use to kind of prop up your name.
Mhm.
It's very obvious that you won't be able to take any of these if you're a nobody.
Yeah.
As far as borrowing one for, what's the time frame you're looking at?
Basically, however long I think it's going to take for us to get from Aris Ren to the mountains and back.
Okay. I would say that travel will probably run you maybe about 3 or 4 days by your estimates on the way there and then back. So, 8
So
days.
maybe like, okay.
So for a 10-day, you can rent one of the horses here, and they charge you a few silver each day for the horse, and you'll have to give them a stipend of gold, which seems to be negotiated at the start, depending on how much notoriety you have.
How much sway would my name carry? Like, we're not necessarily nobles, but I guess toy makers probably wouldn't.
I
Oh,
would
hold
say very little. You'd be a step above the average family. but
Yeah,
not that
kind of
much.
like in the artisan sort of group, I guess.
Yeah, like at
middle
the
class,
bottom of that class.
lower middle class. Okay. Definitely not going to throw that around. All right.
Is
I
Aurelio your
will-
scribe?
No. I'm going to go back to the library and wait for everybody else.
Sure.
return.
Now the rest of you have finished at the consulate and have stepped out into this very busy foyer where people are coming and going. Where are you headed next?
Kind of personally, I'm gonna, recognize that this is Tidge's show, so I would choose to walk back personally to the library, just so
Okay.
we can see how we divvy everything up.
Sure. Doesn't take too long before your groups converge at the library. There's a bench outside across the road, and you guys kind of sit down there. The three of you return to find Arillo and Tidge kind of waiting there at the bench.
I'll plop down the massive bag of 500 silver into Tidge's lap.
Oh, what is this?
Well, there's more where that came from, but it's a start.
He robbed a bank.
Did you know?
Damn.
You seem a bit collected for someone who just robbed a bank.
Especially this guy, right? Guy shook like a leaf when someone talked to him for more than 10 seconds.
That doesn't surprise me.
Look,
No
I wasn't
offense.
comfortable. I'm sorry.
It's alright, buddy. Well, there's a start. I do have more, although I'm gonna try not to spend it because this bank is gonna get real nasty real quick with interest. So, the least we spend, the better. But 50 should bring us 50 gold or 500 silver, whatever it is. Should help get us there and back, I would assume.
I would think so. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to glean too much information about what the mountains have in store for us, but I think our best bet is to get some horses, get some food supplies so that we can, eat along the way. But as far as what to expect other than like massive slow beasts,
Pardon my ignorance. Our horse is going to be the best thing to be taking in the mountains. I mean, if we need to do...
Immediately, Arillo, you would know this without need of a roll, that is a bad idea.
Horses up in the mountains is not a good idea.
And,
So, mountain goats with saddles, then?
Hmm.
I'll look to Arillo with kind of like a smirk.
perhaps... maybe the library isn't the best place to be looking for information for, not necessarily tall tales, but for information. Perhaps a pub or something where locals might have stories or whatnot.
You've read a ton of stories and clearly too many. I don't think we're gonna start getting secret stories of wisdom in a pub. Chances are we'll just get the ravings of a drunk lunatic.
I mean, life tales. Surely some people have ventured out that direction. They might have some insight.
I mean, I suppose it's worth a shot, but I've asked quite a few people around, and seems like most people try to avoid it. The
But
promise of
why?
I'm not saying it's a bad idea, but mostly it's the monsters that populate the area.
That's the second time you say monsters.
First time I said massive beasts.
Ah, fair point. So first time you say monsters, first time you say massive beasts. What's going on? Something you're not telling us?
All right. So the information that I was able to glean so far, or get, really in total, not so much so far, was that the hills are. Well, the hills were the information that I could get, and that there are strange, large beasts that aren't exactly fast, but are worth avoiding. They recommend staying to the roads, and it seems that usually using horses or some means of fast travel is the best way to avoid these things. So, and I spoke with the desert folk that come through this area quite a bit and travel at least in the shadow of the mountains, but everyone I spoke to basically looked at me like I was crazy. And perhaps I am, but you know as well as I do that I have to go. So, all that in mind, how willing are the rest of you to risk your lives and ascend to these mountaintops? This is quite an ask.
Is it? I mean, the last place we went to, what was it called again? Something very eerie.
The Temple of Doom.
Right, something like that. And locals told us that we were crazy to go there, and lo and behold, man. So, not too worried. I do think that your initial strategy of using Arillo to navigate the local area is a good one. If we can do the same thing here, as in just leave the outskirts of town, find some small community that's, you know, maybe a little more in tune with the area, we might be able to get a little more information. Now, in terms of what money's going to do out there, it's probably very little, so you might want to, you know, get some supplies, but it's your show. I mean, I understand that Arillo thinks horses are a bad idea in the mountains, but if we can arrange to at least use them along the roads, get across the mountain or parts of the mountain faster, and have them either picked up or drop them off at a familiar place, maybe it's worth it. I don't know. It's in terms of my willingness, don't worry about that.
Well, that's good to hear. The thought I had was that perhaps we could get someone to ride along with us, perhaps a foolhardy individual that would be willing to come out with us and deliver the horses back afterwards. Or perhaps we could skirt the desert right in between the, you know, where they meet the foothills and might have a bit better luck there. The way I see it, we have a couple options. We follow the road until we get to like the closest point, and maybe we follow or cut through. Would I know anything about the Galbani forest?
You would know that the two woods here are relatively tame. Talk about the local area seem to hold them in nearly the same kind of fear that the hills have. However, the jungle further down to the south is one of the one of the most dangerous places in the world. It's as well reputed as being just like death incarnate.
Excellent. So, now that I think about it, our best bet might be to follow the road until we get almost to Vosenux, and I'll be like pointing it out on the map and everything, and then perhaps cutting through the woods, which the Gambani forest here, which, as I understand it, is a bit more tame, a little less deadly, and then maybe making our way northeast from there.
It's not a bad route.
So then, I mean, we might be a little more... Seems a bit safer to me. Seems like the road... Well, what I was reading, the road is the safest way to go. So, and then we can avoid purchasing horses, which means we're saving some money there. We're taking a little extra time walking, but...
Look, I didn't go into great detail about the loan, but we have 90 days to pay it back, which should give us ample time. So we shouldn't rush. I mean, I understand that this angel of yours, or whatever you call it, is pressed for time, but I'm sure it's also concerned with our well-being if we're the only ones that are doing this. So, you know, let's arrange to get to Vosenux at a good pace. And do you know roughly the size of that? Should we stock up here, or is it better to stock up there?
I don't know how familiar would I be with Vosenux?
Having lived in Oris Ren, you're familiar with the two surrounding towns, as they're from the same empire. You know that Vosenux is famous as one of the technological wonders of the world, and it's a underground city where there's like a kind of upper crust of society that lives on the surface, and then underneath in a massive cave system is like a very poor and somewhat crime-ridden area where most of the airships in the world are like maintained and built. And as far as like anything machine related, it more or less comes out of Vosnex or Steelwind, which is very, very far away.
Okay.
You can get into the Undercity, as it's called. It costs gold to do so, and it also costs gold to leave.
Damn.
So, our best bet would be to supply up here, where there's a bit more competition, because it's a bit of a sketchy place, Boston X.
Yeah, everything's fine until you go underground, and then it kind of gets a little dicey.
Yeah, they're like incredibly technological out there. I mean, it's like I don't know if you've ever seen the airships, but I'll explain the whole dynamic and everything. So, I think we better get our supplies here and then make our way over there and then cut up from there. Perhaps
Sure.
use it as a rest stop.
Sure. Yeah, spend the silver first. It's what's heaviest. I figured we'd get small denominations for little things like food and whatnot. So, do what you need to do. Yeah, I'm not going to be there for the shopping spree, but I will meet you back at the library.
Good day, Ashley.
What's hoppin', bitches?
What was that, Kalik?
I was gonna ask if there's any work. Supposedly, maybe we could take if there's any commodities that could be taken to Vostonex.
I will say that the two of you have noticed that there are, three of you, I guess. Well, maybe two, because one of you is sick. But you would have noticed that in the Imperial Consulate, there's a number of different job boards and things like that. And a lot of the writing that's on the wall is related to stuff that would be either out of your league or is clearly meant for people with certain skills. There's a lot of miscellaneous jobs posted there as well. It's kind of like the heart of the city. There's like a lot of stuff going on there. Now, you guys were in that room for a moment. You had your mind on getting the money. You passed by those boards, but you could go back and look at them again if you wanted to see if there's any local work.
Oh, I'll suggest that to the group. Maybe there is a little coin in it for us. If there's anyone needing to ship something over there.
It's worth a shot. I mean, it's not like it's going to take any extra time. I'll go take a look with you if you like, or we could all go.
Well, what other commodity or necessary things? Do we need more rations at all? Perhaps.
I've got a few, but definitely not like a week's worth.
I think Gorilla's our guy. If we're going to be heading into the mountain, will probably be able to give us a good idea of what we need. What do you think, Gorilla?
Or low.
I'll tap him.
Is he drooling?
No, I turned off my mic because the phone was ringing. No. I can definitely help you with that.
How much food do you still have left over?
Quite a bit. Let me just take a look at my backpack here. It comes out to about 27 days.
For all of us, or just you?
All of us.
What?
All of us. What?
That's
Wait.
so you have enough for
Okay,
one of
that's
us
just-
apiece.
One ration is 3 meals, right?
It's enough for
One-
a person during a day. So
For a day, right?
yeah, divvy
Okay,
by
so
like
I've
2
got-
pounds.
I've got 27 days of rations because I bought
Okay,
30
so 27
or I bought
divided
20
by
rations
5, right? So you actually have
Yeah.
for 5 days.
for
For
5
all of
days.
us.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I'm also a
well, there's 6 of you.
Outlander, so
Or sorry, no, smoke weed. Never mind.
Yeah, you are.
every day.
I mean, you're an outlander, so we could hunt, but you don't have any
Yeah.
ranged weapons.
no. But I do have a trap, so a hunting trap, which I could set up
I would
the
say
night
if you're an outlander in these parts of the world, you could find food easily and wouldn't have to worry about anything, as long as you're either in the forest or the mountains. The hills might be different.
Okay.
Same with the plains. The plains, it might be more difficult to find food.
So if we head north from Vossonix into the mountains of Marcon and then kind of do this, you know, like kind of a crescent-shaped pattern to the library, rather than go straight from Vossonix through the hills, we might be able
that's
to, we might be
kinda
able
what
to
I was
feed
thinking.
ourselves a bit longer.
Yeah, I'd like to avoid the hills at all, if at all possible. So if we go, yeah, north and then easterly, or yeah, like that.
Oakley dokley.
Is that the path?
I think
Yeah.
you guys head to the consulate. You find a job, maybe some goods that need moving to Vossonix, something that could pay some money. I need to go on just to a nearby temple real quick, but yeah.
Okay. You guys split up and go look around?
Sure.
Yeah.
So Edgar,
Sure,
you go
why
off
not?
to a temple, and the other group goes off to the consulate. And as you guys get over there, we'll do your little bit here first. You find out that there isn't any work for dragging things off to Vossonix. It doesn't appear that anybody is looking for hirelings for such a thing. You're kind of out of luck there. However, there is something related. And just off of the beaten path, slightly south, where the road kind of splits, there is reportedly a gang of bandits known as the Jackknife Gang that has been growing larger and larger every day, and the city has put up a bounty on their heads. And to show you where that is on the map, it is right here. So it's a minor detour. It's like just down the road slightly at the tip of that hill.
Any information about the bandits, or like their numbers, or how much this is going to pay, or any details?
It says that the group has more than 24 members, and that they've been attacking people on the roads, leaving the more armored caravans alone. They seem to be picking on anybody who goes in a small group. Traveling in that direction is inadvised at the moment. If you can bring they have a description of their leader there, that'll get you a good amount of gold, and likewise any proof that you can bring back that you've killed the others as well. But the numbers seem to be about 24.
If we were to complete this and confirm that the job was done in Vossonix, would we be able to be paid there, or no?
It says that you can be paid in any of the Aurelian cities.
Oh.
Do we know what race they are?
Oh. It doesn't say, though, from your guess, just kind of the way things are in the area, they're probably human.
Okay.
The only thing that's different is the leader is apparently a tiefling.
Interesting. If we're interested in a job, can we like just take the paper off and like return it if we're not gonna do it, or does that just stay there?
No, you can see people who are nearby who are like writing things down, though, like copying.
Okay. Then I'll take notes of everything on the bulletin.
So you take note of that. You now know that there is a large gang kind of on the way. And whether you want to deal with them or not, you might be attacked by them, so you have gotten some info.
Yep. Right, Tidge. Looks like we might be dealing with this, whether we like it or not.
Yeah, well,
Best get paid for it if we're gonna
sure.
be.
It's better than walking in blind. I mean, that's more information than we had. So, I don't think that we have the time to go down there and deal with it, but, I mean, you're right. If we can take out one or two, or a small band that
I mean,
may waylay us.
it's not, besides immediate danger, it's not too far out of the way, and I'm sure it'll help some other people down the road that might encounter them. I don't know. I'll look to the other members of the party. I'd say I don't know about me, but you all seem pretty capable fighters. You all seem to know what you're doing, and I think I don't know, doing a little bit of good in the world and getting paid for it might be good. I don't know.
Okay.
It's definitely good. I'm not.
I'm sure this guy Arillo can take on a dozen himself.
You're probably right.
Oh, Kalik, you think I'm a good fighter, do you?
Of course you're a good fighter. You kick my ass. You alright? You sound a little sick.
I'm a wee bit sick, yeah.
Right. Well, seems like this is the only job that we're capable of doing or qualified to do. So perhaps we secure any other goods we might need for our journey and then perhaps head out.
Sounds good to me.
What time of day is it?
That's probably afternoon, about now.
Okay.
Now, off somewhere else in the city, what kind of temple are you looking for?
Well, I'd probably go back towards the consulate, so I would probably walk with the party for a little while, thinking that maybe a temple to Metri, it would make sense for it to be near such a regulated like government body, I guess you could say. So I would look and maybe ask a passerby for the largest Metri temple I could think of, or they could think of.
Sure. Go from place to place and ask around, and wander here and there in the streets, and peculiarly, you don't find that anybody really has much to direct you to. You're told that there's a shrine here and there to a god, but, you know, nobody really has any proper temples in the area. So you have the location of a shrine you could go to, but there's nothing like any big temples that you can visit.
I guess a shrine will do.
Okay. You travel down the road, and nearby, just kind of tucked away, barely down an alley, you can see what's clearly Metri's symbol there, and a few offerings that have been kind of left on a, basically like a little table that's nearby. It's very sparse, there's not much.
Well, I'll take I'll take my weapon off and put it aside. Same thing as any other weapons I have on me. And I'll kind of think to myself a small prayer. And what I'll say is, Metri, you've spoken to me once before. Wasn't exactly a fun conversation, but it was the wake-up call I needed. I hope that I'm on the right path now. If I'm not, I would hope that you have the wisdom to direct me and to right my way. I hope that you got my message, and my new oath might need some work, but yeah, I don't know how to go about reinventing myself just yet, but I'm hoping that this group shows me the way.
You finish your prayer, and suddenly a gust of wind comes rushing down the alleyway. It sort of like pushes out from the opposite direction, kind of, almost like blowing your clothes in the direction of the main street that you had just stepped off of. And you get the sense that there's a divine presence there for at least a brief moment. It's the first time you've felt Metri's presence since that unfortunate conversation. And it's unmistakable. You can feel it in the air, and it fades away afterwards. There's no words, nothing.
I'll re-equip myself, kind of nod towards the shrine, and head back towards the library.
Okay. Where are you four going to?
Oh, you know, I'm just tailing along.
We didn't really agree on a meeting place, and Edgar didn't say where he was going, so I guess we'll.
I did say I would meet back at the library.
Okay, then
I don't know
we'll.
if I was-
I'm sorry. Yeah, then we'll head back to the library if there's nothing else.
Are we
Unless
good?
there's something else.
I mean, if we're good on rations, then yeah, I guess.
It's late
I could look
afternoon.
up some more
and the
picture
group-
books.
Sorry to interject. Are we sharing things now? Is that a party thing? Table talk.
So while you were gone, we're not quite sharing, I guess, but like what's happening is using my noble papers, I was able to secure 200 gold on a loan, and I
Mhm.
gave 50 or 500 silver to Tidge. So he's going to be taking care of like general costs for the party and the expedition.
Mm-hmm.
So you
Okay.
guys should be like fed, no problem.
And then I'm just a generous dude. A generous Goliath. That
There you
gives
go.
people food. But yeah.
Doesn't take too long, but eventually you meet back up here, and it is late afternoon at this point. So lunch has come and gone. The city is still plenty busy. You guys kind of meet back up at the bench where you seem to have kind of unofficially made your meeting spot.
Alright, well, we found out that there's some bandits hanging out and attacking those that travel the road, so seems like no matter which way we go, we've got something to worry about, but I think that's a little better than massive beasts. So, that being said, I don't know if it's the best idea to strike out towards the end of the day and camp out on the road.
I mean, if we're trying to save coin, perhaps it would be better to camp out close to town rather than in the streets.
What, roughly how far could we get, or would I infer that we could get in a day, and then, like, if we left now, could we get, like, maybe here-ish?
Maybe here.
Here? Okay. So it'd probably take, like, 3 days or something to get to this intersection.
Around that, yeah.
Okay. Then, yeah, if time is of the essence, which it definitely is, then disregard what I just said. Yeah.
I mean, if you're still interested in the horses, if we're able to drop them off in Vossonix, it might be.
I mean, if we can find a caravan to hop on with, the note said that they were avoiding the armored groups, so that could save us a bit of time. We wouldn't
Might
have to
also
worry
get
about.
paid for that. But
To be protection.
Oh, yeah, if we could offer ours, that might be.
but I'll be kind of visibly like I'll have become kind of uncomfortable when you mention the bandits, and I'll look over at you, Tidge, and I'll say the paper you saw regarding the bandits, what did it say?
I'll hand over my notes. It'll say everything listed on the paper.
Does it mention like or their heads specifically, or does it just say solve the problem?
It says that you are to bring back proof that you've killed them. The suggestion at the bottom is to either bring their heads or their fingers. So you can take like an index finger from each of them. The tiefling leader is described in reasonable detail. His cronies are not.
Again, kind of uncomfortable. I hand the paper back to Caleb.
You seem a bit worried there, Edgar. What's the...
Not worried, but it does seem a little barbaric to solve the problem by dismembering these bandits. I don't feel comfortable doing that.
Well, if they're killing passerbys and they're wanted by the state,
I don't disagree with you, Kalik, but the world's a little more complicated than that. Look, I don't mind getting on with a caravan and protecting them. I think that's a noble cause. But, and I want you all to be very clear, or rather, I want to be very clear on this with you guys. If I don't have to strike someone down, I won't. The evil undead was one thing. People are another. So, if we do come across them, we'll be using words more than weapons. And I just want to make that very clear.
fair enough.
It's a noble stance.
And again, as you all know, if our lives are on the line, I might change my tune, but I think it's worth exploring the option of redemption for these lost souls along the road.
What if they don't attack us? We know they're there. We know they're hostile. But they don't come to terms with us, but they still don't attack. Are you just gonna let them be? And let them, I don't know, kill other innocents?
Normally, Kalik, I would say no. I would go seek them out and try to resolve the problem however I can, but clearly, and I'll look at Tidge, there are bigger problems at hand, and one of my responsibilities that I've taken upon myself is deciding which ones are more pressing. So, look, those men are responsible for their actions. I am not. If we come across them, I'll do everything that I can to keep everyone safe. If we don't, we continue on our journey, but we don't exactly forget about them either. You're absolutely right, other lives are on the line.
Fair enough.
Well, I think our best bet then is to see if we can find a caravan that we might be able to sign up with and offer our services to. But being that time is quite of the essence, then I'd like to leave today. So if everybody's good, then
Sure, I mean, I didn't mean to, have everyone sing Kumbaya with me, but
no, I understand where you're coming from.
yeah, I
And
just wanted to be clear. But no, if time is of the essence, I think, like you said, maybe the best solution is to go out towards the outskirts near where caravans are departing. If we can hop on one, maybe we wait an hour or two, see if something comes by. If not, we can start heading out. And I'll gesture to the big oaf that is Arillo. That guy should be able to find us a camp, no problem. So
It won't be any trouble.
that's my Goliath.
I thought you were going to say girl. I was about to question you.
Hey, don't question his preferences.
all right. So I guess we head to the edge of town then. Would there be like a gate sort of coming to this?
Yes.
Or I would know where like caravans would be kind of saddling up and ready to go out, I would imagine.
Mhm. You know that most of them park around the stables. The horses need tending to, and so the caravans kind of pile up there, and they kind of come and go as dates of departure come up. You guys can wander over there and see if there's anything that's leaving recently, or soon rather.
Sure.
Whoever's feeling lucky, please make a luck roll.
All right.
Anyone but Connor.
Oh, Connor, were you
Not
down
so
too?
great. 9.
When you wander over, you find that there's a number of different caravans that are kind of stacked up in the stables. And after talking to one or two of the different caravan leaders, you find out that some of them have arrived, some of them are going, but nobody is really leaving immediately. The closest thing is there's somebody who's leaving in 2 days from now for Vostenux. He tells you that they're not really in a hurry and that they're still buying goods in town to go and sell, and that they're going to wait it out until they get some, but they're estimating that in a couple days they'll be going. And if you want to tag along, it's a few silver for the ride. You'll have to feed yourselves, though.
No, we don't have that kind of time. So, I guess it's just us then.
I shrug my shoulders.
Alright.
Are there any caravans that have left recently we might be able to catch up to?
I would say from the local news, it doesn't sound like it. And the traffic in that direction has definitely slowed since the gang has been active.
Just kind of raise an eyebrow and look to Edgar.
I'm sorry, why are you looking at me? I'm confused.
Oh, he's talking about the fucking gang. Relax.
No, I'm saying that table talk.
Oh.
I
he-
legit, I am confused why you're looking at me.
Oh, he mentioned the gang.
Oh,
How
okay.
Traffic had been slowed because of it.
Right, sorry, I didn't connect the two dots there. Yeah, I wasn't being snippy on purpose. I'll just kind of give Kalik a reassuring kind of stoic look.
Right. We wait in 2 days? Probably not.
No. We've got to get moving. Or at least I have to. So, if you're coming with me, then we're headed out tonight.
All right.
So,
Are
we're headed out tonight.
fast-forwarding through the hills? Is that the plan? Or was
Sure.
it Vostenux and then up?
I think I don't know, just to recap, I thought we were doing the road to Vostenix,
Yeah.
and then forest and mountains where Arillo can feed us to the library.
Yeah.
That's my assumption.
Or at least to, like, this area. Until, like, we see the hills kind of go away, and then maybe start making our way up
Sure.
through.
Okay.
Oh, scrolling too close to the map.
I'd prefer to at least pass the intersection.
Great.
I
So
mean-
what's the plan? Are we gonna go through the intersection, and if we see them, we see them and deal with them then, or are we just going to try to avoid them altogether?
If they make their presence known, we'll deal with them. If not, we're not going to go out of our way, it sounds like.
Yeah, like I get what you're getting at, Kalik, but there's some serious bad juju going on, and we really have to get to this temple. I know perhaps we can deal with it later, but we gotta get there, and the fastest way is gonna be this fastest yet safest way is gonna be the way I'm gonna have to go.
All right.
So what was the thing?
So, as soon as the hills start to give way, we're gonna cut through the forest to the mountains, and then
Sure.
from there to the shrine.
Okay,
Or the
so you'll
temple.
hopefully avoid the hills, avoid the intersection, just go a bit into the forest and then up into here. Who is
Yeah.
feeling lucky?
I'll
Oh.
roll. Let's do Welfare Wednesday, guys.
Oh no.
Yay.
Oh, okay. It's perfectly average.
10 is average. Come on, man.
How about we start going like clockwise or something for the roll?
I like that.
That would work.
So what? Steve would be next. And then you, Connor, then Mike, then Ash.
Sure.
I'm done.
Alright.
How can we keep track of that?
Just like a
It's-
token.
It's
Whoever
not a
rolls
big
next.
deal, yeah.
It's not a big deal though.
Here, tavern goer. We'll say the person with the token is the next roll.
Sure.
So you guys go wandering off and make it about 3 days along the road, passing along the Actus Woods, and eventually getting to an area where you're ready to step off of the road and wander off into the forest. Now, as you guys go to do so, I need a second roll for the next leg of your journey. And I also need a bunch of rations subtracted. Let's see.
Alright.
I would say there's probably 1 day out of the 3 where you guys can't get food from Arillo. So Arillo, go ahead and subtract 5 rations total.
5 rations. Okay.
The other 2 days you find food along the side of the forest.
We've got 22 rations remaining.
Who's feeling lucky?
Well, it's my turn to roll, so.
Okay.
19.
So 19. I can't see there's a hand on it. There we go. Okay.
Falco for the win.
I thought it said Frodo, and I was like,
Oh, it's Team Star Fox.
yeah, I had to reread it this when my hand was hovering over it.
Oh, yeah.
Travel through the forest is uneventful, and
I have
roughly
all
a
of them.
day of wandering through this wilderness yields very little of anything. You guys get through there safely. The next little bit, though, is a little bit different. You are not accosted in any way, but traveling through the small bits of hills that remain between you and the mountains, you see multiple sets of corpses which are laying around. Some of them look like wild beasts, other are clearly like the skeletons of humanoid races, and they're all charred. There's like horrible burn marks over their skeletons, and it's just like black rib cages kind of left there on the ground, partially jutting out of the like the dirt in the hills and whatnot. It's pretty grisly, and there's also very, very little vegetation on the hills. They seem to be mostly just like caked dirt, but you don't see what the culprits are, and at no point are you attacked by them.
Does it seem like the bodies are any like battle wounds, like incisions, like cuts?
Oh, make a
Slices
medicine
through.
check.
Nat 20.
Nat 20.
I'm mad.
Nice.
Okay. I would say, given that you have all the int proficiencies, after making a check to see what's going on here, not only do you see that there is very little in terms of like human weapons, but you know exactly what this is. There are hellhounds in the area, which are
Fucking shit.
infernal beasts. They're dogs that move at an incredible speed that can spew flame and devour basically anything they can get their hands on.
Right. Are you all familiar with hellhounds?
Am I familiar with hellhounds?
Yes.
I would say that you've probably heard little passing tales about them, being like these flaming dogs, but you wouldn't really know much more than that. Other than that, they're like an infernal scourge.
I'll just kind of shrug my shoulders.
Well, that's what we're dealing with, and I'll just point to the corpse. Unless we want to end up like that, we best be careful.
Well, let's hope that there's not much in the mountains. But best to keep an eye out for them.
Right, and how do we avoid running into them?
I'll look to Arillo. Any suggestions?
And Illusion, would I know? Any solutions? Probably just like staying more towards tree cover.
Make a survival roll for it.
Falco, you're coming out again. 10.
I would say what you know is kind of basic stuff. You're aware that beasts like this tend to have a territory that they stick to, right? And to transgress would easily pull their attention. You also know that probably be a good idea to kind of lay low if you could avoid it, unless this is a fight you're willing to take. And since you don't know their numbers, maybe err on the side of caution, maybe not. That's up to you. You do know that hellhounds are uncommon in the mountains, and you'd be able to guess that they're probably spending time in the hills or the plains, and that you probably won't see them if you can make it past this area without being attacked.
So, hellhounds are mostly, we won't find them very much in the mountains. It's very uncommon, but if we do run into them, you know, gotta do what we gotta do.
In your opinion, would it be best to skirt the edge of the forest until they meet the mountains? Or do
Yes.
they actually, or does it like, is it like kind of open space after a while?
There's a little bit of an open space further up
So
here.
alright, so there's really
Might be
no
safer.
avoiding it.
It might be
okay.
safer, but it'll cost you like another day on the road.
I think another day in the woods is better than trying to match ourselves against some hellhounds.
I think you are making a good call with that.
Okay. You guys gonna travel further in that direction?
Yeah.
Okay. It takes you a total of 3 more days of traveling up here and then over to get even close to this sealed library. There we go. Now, when you finally get over towards the mountains, there's a bit of relief having avoided the hellhounds. There's always that worry that they'll wander further out and catch you. You don't know, you're only going by guesses. But eventually when you get into the rocks, there's a bit of safety that comes with that. You guys know that you're past. Now, traveling through the mountains is tough, and you're not actually familiar with these ones, Arillo. You have a lot of knowledge from having lived in mountains, but these ones specifically are new to you. So, you know, it's not the fastest thing. Thankfully, though, while going along, it doesn't seem to be too treacherous. There's nothing like the jagged rocks from back in the other mountain range. Things here are pretty tame. Now, as you guys are going along, I need a final luck check as you come up towards the temple.
16.
Maybe we don't have to forbid you from the luck rolls after all. Traveling along the way, you're attempting to get towards the sealed temple, and you've been given directions by your patron god there, Tidge, but up here there's very little to look at as far as like landmarks go and things like that. You're just trying to get towards a very specific pinprick on the map, and it's kind of like wandering and sifting through hay looking for a needle, right? It's really just like arduous work for very little of anything. You never know if you're getting closer or not until one day. It's the 3rd day of travel here through the wilderness, so your 6th day total, and the evening is starting to come on. Off in the distance, the sun is beginning to set, and something happens. You guys are partially along a rocky path where Arillo is up at the front, kind of leading you guys around. I'll draw like a little thing in the map here, just in case. Just in case. So this is like Rocky Mountains there, and then it's like
Maybe
this.
just in case. You know that story of the Roman legion getting ambushed by barbarians in the forests? This is exactly what that looked like.
Ah, we're not Romans, we're fine.
You guys
We're
are
not
kinda-
Romans, and we're not in the forest.
Literally this path right here.
Everything is okay. So you guys are going along here, and something rather strange happens. Just next to you, Titch, here, in the rock face, you see what looks like something move for a moment. You blink your eyes, and it's gone. And you can't help but feel like you've just had a mild psychotic episode. Like, you swear there was something there. In a blink, there's nothing.
I'd like to, can I walk up to, is that like a, are we in sort of like a cavern, or not cavern, but like chasm sort of thing? Like, is that a wall, or is that just like
It's
I
a
thought I saw
straight
something
wall of
moving?
just pure rock.
Okay, yeah, I'd like to go up to it and lay my hand on it.
The moment that you put your hand on it, the wall moves, and all of you hear a loud rumble as a face appears in the side of the rock, and then kind of like moves its head to the side. You see a grimace show in its features. They're very basic, but you can easily make out like 2 eyes and a mouth there. And it calls out to you guys in a very sort of gravelly voice and says, "Rose."
What language?
It speaks to you all in common.
A faithful to the librarian and his allies.
The thing grumbles to itself and says, "Travelers, turn back."
I cannot turn back. My destiny pushes me forward.
The thing grumbles again. This time, it is not simply noises that come from the face, but it's almost like a shake from the mountain itself. Like a belly in the mountain has suddenly been brought to life, and you hear the sound of a bunch of pebbles and rocks falling nearby. And we will go to a brief 5-10 minute break.
2.
Intrigue.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, be back in a moment, folks.
I think I'm gonna make some cup of ramen.
All right.
Alright.
God, Annie's cold.
What'd you say?
God, Annie's cold.
Annie's cold?
You caught
You
him.
referring to yourself in the third person now? You're that cool?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my. God, I'm dying. This is how I go, guys. Ripperoni and pepperonis.
No, I said you caught Annie's cold.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna continue to flip this until you answer my question.
Oh, there it is. Oh, I think it's when I used it and out of nowhere it got like a really high roll, surprised me like the Viet Cong would, and it's yellow like a cob of corn or corn on the cob, so it became Viet Cob.
Okay.
I'll be gonna get some coffee over it. I might die, by the way, sir.
Wait, you can't delete these? Why can't I delete it? Put it back in the pile. Okay. Do you know the Twin Cities is supposed to get like a foot of snow
Really?
this weekend? Yeah.
Oh, it's a good thing you drove when you did then.
Yeah.
Imagine driving through traffic and dealing with snow.
All right, you know, Fuck off.
How's the last bit of your drive?
Fine. Well, you wouldn't know because you were sleeping.
I was tired.
Squelcher. You are tired, but you have to drive. And I got home and I'm like, man, I want Chinese so bad. And then I didn't get any.
I could go for some Chinese. Sounds really good. Crap.
China #1. Beep, beep, I'm a sheep. I say beep, beep, I'm a sheep. I said meow, meow, I'm a cow. I said meow, meow, I'm a cow.
Is this like a valley, or are we on top of a like a
I think
path on a hill?
I think we're in like a crevasse or something like that, or like a little chasm.
Crevasse.
Hmm.
That just implies that it's wider.
Come see my crevasse.
I get some sideways glances if I said that to people.
Come into my crevasse. Ooh. That's a potent statement. I'll stop talking.
It's like my life strategy. Kind of wish the walls bounced again. Oh fuck!
Goodbye, die.
You
He'll be
can
back.
still. You can still. Jason coughing.
I am back.
Jason's still dying, so
Don't die.
Oh, okay. Made some cup ramen. Super excited.
A cup of ramen.
a cup of
ramen.
salt.
Cup of salt. Yep. With extra salt.
How about like this? Paul is the taste.
Just incomprehensible gibberish.
Yep.
I'm back. Fucking
You gonna make it there, champ?
Welcome, Black.
Welcome black. Welcome black. I've been fucking like it's when you have like just the tiniest bit of spit in your windpipe.
Yep.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I died earlier, like the other day at work.
Are you a ghost?
No.
I'm not sure if that was spit, Connor.
Oh.
Where do you work again?
It wasn't fucking Russell. No. No, like same thing, like little spit.
Girl, please. Oh,
Coughed out a lung.
Who's Russell? You got a man in your life, Connor?
Hell no!
It's another cold waffle.
It's a fucking
Oh,
green
no!
card trap I work with.
Oh shit.
Not gay. He did it to me.
Not gay.
You,
Yeah, he left.
you taking deposits in your spare time there, bud?
Fuck no. This guy gets his dick sucked by a guy, and he's just like, not gay. He did it to me.
Wow. Okay.
Lost his
Very-
virginity
very
to his
telling.
cousin.
His third
Whoa.
cousin. He's like, that's not weird,
Fuck.
is it? I'm like, that's so
What
fucking
What
weird.
the
He goes,
fuck?
he's like, no, that's not weird. Yes, it is.
What the fuck?
This
The
guy
dude
was
got
crazy.
a guy got his dick sucked by his other male cousin and thinks it, and that was his first.
No. This is two separate separate instances.
You're blowing my
Oh
mind.
God. Holy fuck.
And lately he's been saying, Connor. Everybody wants Connor. I'm like,
I'm dying.
Connor, I want you to be my best friend. I'm like, okay, Russell, you do not need to pause. You just say the full statement. I want you to be my best friend. You don't say, I want you to be my best friend. Okay, Russ.
Sweet Jesus.
Mm-mm.
I'll be your best
This is
friend if you
where-
can convince your cousin to suck my dick.
The first time I met this guy, he told me that all. Wait, are we streaming? Should I not say this?
I mean, we're streaming, but you should definitely still say it.
I mean, you've already
Okay.
started, so.
So he
Just
told
say it.
me, he's like, yeah, all fat chicks like to be gangbanged. That's
Oh God!
that's the only way they get off. And I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, their pussy's so deep, so it takes
Oh.
it takes many more guys. And I'm like, what?
Like, Russell, are you speaking from personal experience?
He's like, yeah.
What? What?
I'm like, maybe they just like a bigger dick. And he's just like, no, they like many men.
I was about to say, like, multiple average dicks doesn't solve that problem. You just need the one big one. And
Yeah.
he's like, no, multiple dicks. Multiple dicks
No.
coming her way.
Yeah.
Coming at you live.
I work with this guy.
Oh,
He's
Connor B. I want you to... What did he say? I don't know. I don't even care anymore. I'm so scared.
He's scared for you.
I'm so scared.
yeah.
Everybody loves
We're all
Connor.
I'm fucking rustled about Russell. Let's leave it that way.
Oh my god.
Actually, imagine getting him to play D&D. That'd be something.
Oh no, he doesn't understand.
It's phenomenal.
He doesn't understand what a sober cab is. No, Ashley, you just drink. You drink. I'm driving. No. No, just drink. You only get one.
It's
No.
okay. It's okay. I drive.
Is it cute?
No.
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 It's okay, Ashley. I drive. I'm like, Russell, you are not fucking driving my car. You have failed your driving exam twice. You still don't have your license. No. It okay.
Is he Asian or something? What is that accent?
He's Filipino.
He's Filipino.
He's a gay Filipino.
Oh
Where
wow.
did the stereotypes stop?
It all makes sense. It all makes
Oh
sense.
my god, that's fantastic.
He's just a lonely Pinoy boy that doesn't know what's real or not.
Oh god. Boy, boy.
Ooh.
God bless you, sir. Jesus fucking.
Maybe my
Connor.
next D&D character will be based on this guy.
Oh.
Oh no.
In other news, Jason has left the stream for another week.
Yeah, we had to do some reorganizing after a certain character. Well, one guy was playing his cousin, and well,
In today's stream, Pinoy Boy gets his dick sucked by multiple people.
I'm just picturing a bunch of fascinated tavern goers all gathered around. He's like, "No, it's 'cause they're fat. Look, it's really simple here."
I should start writing down all his fucking quotes. It's fucking every
He
day there's
has-
something new.
What? Oh my god, what did you tell me about the egg noodles? Something.
I don't know, but it can wait. Are we ready to go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heyo. Okay.
Hey.
Oh god. I
That's
love
no way.
Welcome back, everybody. You're on the side of the mountain here. Now, I heard some brief talk as I came back about being confused by the map. That's perfectly fine. That's half of tabletop. This is an upward wall. This is a downward wall. You're on a path in between.
Okay.
I thought that was down
So
the
picture
mountainside.
Lord of the Rings when they decide to go over Moria instead of underneath it.
Yeah.
Type thing, narrow passage along the mountain. I got
And
you.
then he's like, "We can't keep going, Gandalf." And he turns over and he's like, "Ah!" I hope somebody knows what video I'm talking about. So on this side, the side with the wall, that's where the face is, okay? And when it tells you to go back, you feel a rumble from the mountain. Like everybody's feet, suddenly shake, and you hear pebbles like rolling down and everything. What do you guys want to do?
Now, Does he have like a super booming voice or something, or does it
Yes.
seem like okay? So does it seem like that's more the reason that
He's not using his inside voice, and standing next to him, it's loud and thunderous. It's almost like having a giant, yelling at you.
okay.
The face's features change, and the mouth turns to like a kind of stern look, and the eyes narrow towards you.
What lies ahead of us?
None of your concern. Turn back.
I can't do that.
These mountains are not for mortals like you. These caves and halls are for that which is to be forgotten. Turn back, or I will throw you upon the mountainside like so many before you.
You ain't got any hands.
Shh, Annie.
What? It's just the face.
I'd like you to make a persuasion roll, please, there, Annabelle.
He doesn't have
This is your
any
first roll of the
hands.
night.
Is there such thing as double disadvantage?
I'm inventing a new D&D system that does have double
A
disadvantage.
19. Wait,
Plus?
persuasion plus I think it's like a 7.
Like, what?
Yes.
I mean, sorry, Twitch. How much?
Snick of what?
Hang on. I have to look at my sheet. I'm pretty sure it's like a
26?
plus 7.
I think it's you have your little post-it card.
Oh, is it? Is it on there?
Your charisma's +3 and you're proficient, right? So it's +5.
Mhm.
Do you have expertise in persuasion?
I think so.
So
Give me a
then it's
second. Let me
+7.
open my sheet. Fuck.
Yeah.
Negro, please.
Where did it go? It was literally right here.
Must have been through about a million.
I've got a copy.
Oh, here we go. It moved to a different file.
+7.
Yeah.
Hooray. So 26.
Regis, I'd like to call a friend.
Something about your voice seems to have soothed the creature further up from around the corner there. And as the face speaks once again, it does so in a slightly lower tone, now only partially deafening in your ears. It says, "Turn back."
Who has tasked you with this sentinel duty? Is it the librarian?
Gods have placed me here. I watch these mountains.
If you watch these mountains, then would you know of a sealed tomb? Not a tomb necessarily, a sealed library.
I know all that rests here, for I am the mountain.
Well, I have the best interests of the gods at heart right now. I'm on a mission from one right now.
He cuts you off immediately, shouting out back to his loud voice, "Cease, and do not feign being from the gods unless you have some form of proof."
I'll pull out the librarian's pen. Is this proof enough for you?
The face seems to pull from the wall. It moves closer. A few inches away, you can hear rock breaking and cracking. A boulder nearby falls down and smashes on the path 5 feet away from you, Arillo. It's quite massive, the kind that would easily crush a man's skull. The face comes closer and stares down at the pen.
This was bestowed to me by the librarian himself.
His eyes narrow, and he stares at the pen. Very well. It kind of moves backwards, and as the face disappears, you hear what sounds like a bunch more rock moving, but this time from further up the path. And Arillo, keeping your eye on where the group is going, you've kind of charted out where your next few spots are going to be, and you watch as a new path presents itself further along the mountain.
Here's a new path is opening.
Face disappears from view.
I think he wants us to go this way.
I would say so. Forward then,
Okay.
Alright.
before he comes back.
You feel the mountain rumble when you say that.
I mean, no offense. Let's go. And I will tuck the pen back into its safe place.
Okay. Now, if I remember correctly, this was, of course, a gift from your god, but you still don't know what it does, right?
Correct. I looked at it
Gotcha.
a little bit, but
You weren't able to get the Arcana rolls.
yeah, I like wrote with it, and it was a really nice pen and stuff.
Okay. So you go further away and pass by this stone guardian of sorts, eventually getting to this next path, and it leads a little bit further, not up the mountain so much as into the mountain. While the path does seem to ascend a little, it ascends into a cave. Do you guys continue?
It's a cave. Is there a lot of wind right now up on this this mountain pass?
There is some wind. It is mild, but even mild wind can be frightening when you're, hundreds of feet up from, the ground.
Right. I'll take 2 torches. I'll pass one to Arillo, and I'll take one myself and kind of light it up.
Okay. Light up the torches. Is the group headed further in?
Yeah.
Okay. The light of the torches gives you enough that you can see into the area, almost like trespassing. Just wandering through here, it feels like somewhere where nobody is supposed to be. You all get the sense that you're in a place you're not supposed to. Even though you don't know what the customs are, it's just kind of that, it's like a social faux pas is being committed, and you feel it in your gut. And as you get up into this cave here, the light plays around on the very back wall, as the cave is incredibly shallow and does not seem to go very far. And towards the end of the cave, just about 20 feet away from you, with a very, very short tunnel leading to the outside where winds continue to howl and whistle about, there is a altar with the same sort of symbolism that you've seen before. A book there, the librarian's book. And that's it.
Is it just a book there, or is it kind of like the statue from before?
It is like a flat table with a pedestal that holds a book, and that's it. There's no angel, there's nothing like that. To kind of give you an idea, it would look like, tiny little pedestal here. Sort of like open cover and all. That's sort of what it looks like.
Okay. Now the pen, is that kind of like you said it was like a more like a fountain pen than a quill?
Yes.
Okay. And this is an actual book? Or is it a stone book?
It's made of stone, just like the rest here. You can see portions of the stand that it rests on, which have clearly been made out of metal, likely inlaid into the stone by a skilled craftsman. But the thing is quite old, and the book is most certainly made of stone.
Okay. Then I will take out the pen.
What the fuck is going on over here?
I'm trying to figure that out too.
It says, what the fuck?
Well, that was her Viet Cobb question. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how to delete them.
When
So I
did
just-
Viet Cobb get its name? What?
Yeah, like the
Oh
slow
yeah,
yellow
illusion, like
little chitlin.
illusion's the only one that can delete
Chitlin has
them.
evolved.
Holy shit, it's pink.
Okay.
Viet
Yep.
Cobb.
Are we good?
I think so.
Okay. Yeah, I'll approach the altar then.
Okay.
And so that's there. There's nothing else on it, just the book and the pedestal, right?
That seems to be it.
Can I take the pen in hand and press it to the one of the pages of to the face of the open book? Or is there any like inscriptions in the book at all? Like when I get up to it, is there any sort of writing on it, or is it just like a flat stone?
Hmm. The pages are flat. There is no writing on them whatsoever.
Okay. Then yeah, I'll take the pen out again and put it to the stone. Not like write anything, just see if anything happens there.
Ah. You pull out the pen and approach the book, and as it grows close towards the book, you feel something. There's a sort of energy that runs throughout the room for a moment, and everybody's hair kind of stands on end. And the moment that your pen touches the page with a kind of dull clink as metal touches on stone, the back end wall pulls apart, and you see what looks like a long hallway. And the hallway is filled with what looks like, how do I describe it?
Bookshelves.
No, it's filled with a bunch of like burn and scratch marks all over it.
Uh,
And furthermore, I'd like everyone to make a perception check, please.
Ooh.
You can go ahead and type them into the chat. Or no, you can't, sorry. Just let me know what you got.
4.
Okay, nope.
3.
3?
Yeah.
Okay,
11.
it's a little bit better.
I like
Wait a
shook my
minute.
hand, but I like just draw.
That's an 8 for me.
I got an 18.
Okay. As
Okay,
it
like
opens
the
up, the
one-
hallway seems quiet, but Kalik, you pick up with your ear just the slightest twitch of some kind of sound further down the hall, and it sounds like solitary footstep that you hear down there.
First of all, I thought that was boss music, and I was
That was
very
Yeah,
awesome.
I was just like, oh, hell yeah!
I was
you know?
That's an intense footprint.
I'll put my hand up. I'll say, wait, I think I hear someone. And I'll point down to the path that just opened up.
Okay.
The hallway ends with a very large set of stone doors, which are currently closed. They're the kind that come without any handle, and you can barely see it with the light that you guys have. There is a distinct similarity between them and the Temple of Despair with its sliding stone doors.
Shit.
I hope you're all ready.
Oh. I mean, as ready as I can be, I guess. Can I take a second to put on the tattered robe from the last temple, Temple of Despair, or the yeah?
Sure. You
Not
put on the
tailors.
robes, and during this time, you guys actually hear another like footstep or two as something slowly moves around from beyond the rock door at the end of the hall.
Ah, oh, it's on the
It's-
other side.
It's on the other side.
Yeah, your light goes out to about here, and then dimly goes out to the rest, just kind of barely showing this. You can kind of hear something from the other side moving around.
Well, last time we were here, or in a temple like this, I mean, obviously, that undead whatever was there, so I'll try and open the doors if you guys all have something ready.
I'll just kind of give him a serious nod, like, "Yep, go for it."
Mm.
Do you
All
think?
right.
Do you think they've beaten us here?
I mean, they beat us to the last one, so it's reasonable that they know about these. Hopefully, it's just in our head, but
I mean,
I'm not sure I'm so faithful or optimistic about that.
fair enough.
So
Do we
I
have-
will.
Do we have a
Huh?
marching order?
Well, the robes seemed to help open the door last time. So wherever
That's
wants
a
to be.
lie. It shocked the shit out of me.
Would it
walk
open one of the
in
doors?
there.
I want a charisma saving throw from everybody. Let me know if you get under a 12.
Would you say charisma saving
Nope.
Yes.
throw? Fuck me, sideways balls, bitch.
I failed.
Jesus fucking A.
14.
If you got under a 12, let me know. So 11 or
Wait,
lower.
wait.
I did.
I did.
Oh, bless Sigma! I'm good to go.
Um,
Plus 5,
Oh
plus
yeah, I'm
Sigma.
under a 12.
would this be against magic by
The
chance?
Emperor protects. What was that?
Wait,
Would this be
Whoops.
against magic
Ooh.
that I
Hello,
could use
Safe.
gnome cunning?
Sure, I would say yeah, it is.
Woohoo!
I rolled the wrong dice.
That's better. So I got a 14.
Hey, you got the same as me.
So
All right,
who
well,
failed?
I'm still under. Me.
Me.
Annabelle failed, and is that the only one?
No, I failed.
And Caleb. Okay.
Didn't Billy fail too?
Everybody hears something. There's a call
no.
that
Okay.
comes out from down the hallway, and I need from you all. Oh no, we already know this from last time. Kalik, you understand what it says in that demonic language. The thing calls out from beyond the stone door. Nobody else understands it, but immediately both you and Annabelle feel a fright that comes over you. Are both feared. And for you, it is probably worse that you hear what he calls out as he says to you all, "You're too late."
I'll visibly be a little shaken. I'll start to step back up against the wall, and I'll look to the others, and I'll say, "It's too late." He says it's too late.
The voice echoes down the hall a second time. More demonic words come bouncing off of old stone, and you guys cannot understand the strange language that comes down. But Kalik, you hear, "Best that you bring me your souls now."
He knows we're here.
I'll put a firm hand on Kalik's shoulder, and I'll try to calm him down. Just by my presence, kind of like a reassuring.
Sure.
He's demanding our souls.
And so did the voice in the last temple, and we defeated that one, didn't we?
Make a persuasion roll, please, Edgar.
That shit's my jam, son. Disco fuck, disco fuck. Oh, you disco bitch. Give me a second. Persuasion is ever so high. Plus 5, that's a 13.
Your companions are no longer feared.
Oh, I'm a paladin of justice.
Make him the fucking boss. Look at them.
I'll start to calm down a
Why are
little
you
bit.
so fucking jealous all the time? Like, oh my god.
Oh god, my
I'm-
chest.
You having a little angina there?
Oh, it hurts.
I can't let this thing defile this place anymore.
I'll give Edgar a nod.
Let's take this fucker out.
Alright.
Are we ready?
I'll whisper to Kalik, just like at the bank, but don't freeze up.
I'll flip him the bird.
I'll kind of give him like a very serious but like little smirk, just to show him like, all right, it's serious time now, and I'll move forward with my torch in hand.
Okay.
Place yourselves where you wish to be.
I'll start to go forward too.
Up next to
down
the
the road.
door there, Tidge, when you approach, your presence alone seems to be enough to activate the thing, and it pulls apart. The two halves retract into the wall and reveal a large room filled with bookshelves that have been desecrated, as well as a creature that stands in the center of the room. Its footsteps behind it are alight with flame as it leaves actual fire in its path, and it turns to face you. Its helm, with nothing resembling a face at all, just like a bonfire that's been contained in it. I need everybody to please roll initiative.
Sense a theme here.
Put the boss music on that we heard last time.
Yeah.
No, do you want to know what I clicked on by accident?
Please play it.
Where is it? It's not boss music. Well, it's boss music, but it's not. I think I clicked this. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I mean, we can
I
let
feel like
this
we're
run. We'll see
entering
if-
one of those fat chick gangbangs right now.
Let me crank up
totally
that
sets
music.
the tone.
I love it.
I get to see like a fat chick with a chocolate-covered strawberry and red satin lingerie on her head right now.
Whoa! Hell!
Oh.
I'm ready.
Oh.
I'm ready for you, boys.
All right, Kalik, you're first.
Wait, I gotta roll my initiative. Give me a
Oh
second
shit!
here.
I thought
Good
I
calm.
got
Yeah,
distracted.
it's super good. Give me a second here.
Oh no! The music's ruined forever. The imagery is too strong.
Ah.
Oh god!
Just over here, boys.
No, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can do jazz combat. I think I could do that. But that's as far as I go.
I feel like I'm waiting in a hotel lobby right now.
He's just standing there smoking a cigarette, snapping his finger.
This is the music
Yep.
you should play when a party TPKs. Okay, well, you guys have died. So,
I've done that before. Okay, first person up on the list, Kalik, it's your turn. What do you want to do? There's a demonic suit of armor standing in the center of the room.
A little spooked. I will go ahead and bless my allies. I will cast bless on. Let's see. I think I can only bless 3 allies at the moment. Find my spells page. Bless is 3 plus 1.
I will stop you before doing too much. Your spell fails.
Oh shit.
it's only 3, by the way. It's plus, isn't it +1 per spell level?
Yep. 3 plus spell level. Okay. Does that consume the spell slot?
Yes.
Oh shit.
Damn.
You finish casting it, and the thing turns towards you for a moment while you're casting the spell, like summoning up this divine energy, and he waves a hand at you dismissively, like somebody would try to swat away a stray mutt, and your spell just breaks.
Did he just counterspell it?
You don't know.
Okay.
So
Well, then I'll load my rifle and stand my ground. Actually, I'm gonna take a couple steps back,
Sure.
and I will end my turn.
After Kayla, it looks like Arillo, you're up next. What do you want to do?
I am going to move up.
Okay.
There's. Oh wait.
I'd
There's.
say you can shove past your allies here.
I'm pretty small.
Well, I mean, I just have to count. So I have 30 feet. So 1.
Oh, you can almost get there. 1, 2, 3.
I can still hit him.
5, 6. Oh, you have a reach
I have the
weapon?
halberd. Yeah, I've got the
Oh, shit.
halberd.
Yeah, you got it.
Hell
So
yeah.
I'll make an attack on him.
Okay. Go ahead and roll that attack.
Grab my attack die. Boop. And 13.
13.
All right.
You step up and wave your halberd towards the creature, and it holds up a arm of plated armor, and the thing bounces off.
All right. That is all I can do.
Next up is Tidge. It's your turn. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna Eldritch Blast his ass. Or at least try.
Okay.
Shoot.
Oh shit.
Oh, that would be a nat 20.
Okay. All right.
24 total.
You can roll damage.
Damn. That's when it blows up the entire cavern.
Come on now.
What are you hitting him with?
Eldritch Blast.
Gotcha.
That would be 12 force damage.
Worst. Okay. You hit the thing, and this time your bolt seems to go past some of its plates of armor, striking the flames behind it, kind of contained inside. There's a burst of fire that blows out from all the different cracks as you hit it, and it staggers like somebody would after being hit by an arrow.
I'll just stream. Get the fuck out of this place! Super intimidating with my 3'1" form.
I got scared a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
All right, is that your turn?
Yeah.
Okay. Annabelle, you're up.
I'm gonna. Wait,
Are
I
you-
can double my movement speed, right?
With a dash.
They have cunning action. Is that correct?
Oh, are you a
Which-
level 2 Rouge?
I am.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I'm gonna get up in his face and smack him with my rapier. It's like right in the belly button region.
Right in there. Way up there,
I could
Morty.
backstab way up there. I'll stand on this side. So.
Way up there. Way up in your butthole, Morty.
Oh, fuck. 11.
You miss.
Okay.
Is that your turn?
Well, I mean, I could taunt him by like. I'm the worst.
Wow.
This isn't a serious situation at all. Annabelle wouldn't care. Meanwhile, Tidge is like, no.
I mean,
By all
it's-
means, keep fucking around. Just kidding, I didn't say that.
You don't know where she's from, man. Don't tell her to live her life.
you don't know me. Yeah, it's my turn. Sorry.
Okay, who's yellow?
I think that's me for some
Yeah.
reason. I put yellow.
Oh,
Why?
okay. It's your turn.
Let me just, There we go. I will...
Please don't bring back the
10,
imagery.
15, 20, 25, 30.
No!
And, I'm wondering if I can do this. I'd like to dodge as my action, But I was wondering if as a bonus action, without doing any damage or anything, I just want to kind of I don't even know, but this would be more like flavor. If I could like kind of make my shield glow, because it's technically part of my holy symbol, right? So kind of make it glow and just nudge him with it, kind of like a bitch slap as a taunt.
I'd let you do that for flavor. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it would do nothing. I just I want to see if I can get his attention here.
Sure.
So yeah, I'll kind of just flare it up, and then just little slap to the face while he looks at me super mad.
Okay. Is that your turn?
It is my turn now.
All right. I'd like you to make an intimidation roll, please, Edgar.
You know it, girl.
If
Go
you can
get
get a
it, girl.
15 or above, he doesn't kill Annabelle.
Oh. Oh, baby, a triple.
You can take her spot. He makes 2 attacks
Aw.
on you.
I'm dodging. Disadvantage.
Glitching.
Putain, hein, I've got to dodge for the attacks that are coming in. I don't know.
Does a 17 hit?
Girl, it does not.
Oh, the next one misses as well then. He swings twice. You block the first with your shield, and the second one you dodge out of the way. A flaming sword materializes into his hand, which he swings out in your direction, and you manage to avoid damage on both accounts.
You are so welcome for taunting that.
Yeah, thanks.
And after that, it is... nobody's turn. Time to roll initiative again.
Woohoo! I can get higher than a name.
Oh, come on, really?
Green chitlin. Alright, if you get over 15, I'm gonna name you something Gamma Ray Hulk related. Come on! Oh! You don't deserve it. Fine.
Okay. Down the hall, let's see. Nope. In the room there, Annabelle, next to you, the creature turns over towards Edgar and speaks something to him. You can't understand. The only person who can is Kalek, who down the hall hears the thing say to him, "I'll cleanse the world of your paladin's stench," and raises up his sword above his head. Annabelle, it's your turn. What do you want to do? It looks like the aggro is definitely on Edgar here.
He is scary. No, I mean, I was scared before, but then I wasn't.
Excuse me?
I'm very. Well, no, you said I was scared, right? So
Yep.
I was frightened,
Mhm.
and then Edgar was nice enough to not allow me to be scared anymore. I don't know. I'm gonna attack him. Never mind. I'm
English.
talking too much.
You English real good.
So either this
I-
evening I am tired and out of it, or you guys are not communicating like normal humans. I don't know which it is,
I'm not.
but I'm having a lot of moments where I'm going, wait, what? Wait, am I retarded?
Yeah, no, I'm clearly.
How is that different than any other session?
Well,
God, I'm so out of it.
It's just happening a lot more than usual.
I'm so out of it. Like half my shit is on a different page. I don't know.
What did
what's
you roll
wrong
to
with
hit?
my sheet. +3. Or +4.
It's that gif of that woman with the fucking trigonometry passing in front of her.
15.
Looking left and right like,
It's a 15.
You miss.
with the fucking X-Files music in the background.
I'd like to use my action to disengage and step, or like my bonus. I'm gonna move away, out of reach. Okay, that's my turn.
It's so weird that he makes that noise.
Aurelio, it's your turn.
Alright. I'm gonna make an attack on him. Try and hit him this time.
Okay. What do we got?
Through Edgar.
Ooh.
9. It's a reach weapon.
You still
Alright.
have a dude in front of you.
I can go around him with it I am skilled. I've had this halberd for my.
What did you roll?
entire life.
Jesus
I had
Christ.
a 9, not a nat 1.
Okay, you miss, unfortunately. Is that your turn?
Yep.
Tid, you're up.
All right. Am I with it? Well, sorry. I'm gonna move in to like here-ish.
Okay.
I can still see him, right? Annabelle's
Yes.
not blocking me. All right. I would like to cast Witch Bolt on him.
This again. Let's see if
No,
you
that
get-
was Eldritch Blast. Now it's Witch Bolt.
No, I mean last time you fought
Oh,
the big
gotcha.
guy, you blasted.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. That would be a 20.
Oh, you hit.
Hit.
Go ahead and roll damage.
Come on. 3
3.
marvelous damage.
Okay. Motes of flame are pushed like past the creases of the armor here, as its internal flame seems to be fighting against the damage from this lightning here, but it's still standing. Is that your turn?
Yeah, that'll be it.
Kalik, you're up. What do you want to do?
Why, Edgar? He says you've got a stench smell. I'll take a couple steps forward.
Okay.
I'll kind of look over my shoulder at Kalik and then like give a growl to the thing in front of me.
It definitely wants to kill you with all of its might.
Bring it on, you cuck fuck.
Fuck.
I will load.
Language.
After loading my gun, I will look at it down at sights, and instead of taking a shot, I am going to instead cast Sacred Flame.
Okay. Let's see. Check for it. It fails with a 10, I imagine.
Yes.
Roll damage.
That's 1d8 radiant.
Oh, sorry, I fucked something up. Okay, yeah.
Uh, 6 radiant damage.
Okay. Alright, it is still alive, but you've clearly damaged its internal flame there.
And that's my turn.
Okay. After you, Kalik, it's your turn, Edgar. What do you want to do?
Kind of mustering all my might here. I'm gonna take my longsword and bring it right down over this mofo's head.
Sure.
Disco funk, you never failed me before. You failed me now. That's a 12 to hit.
Ah. He parries you, bringing up his own blade. He blocks your longsword.
Bitch. Right, the bless didn't go through, obvi. Alright, well, I end my turn. Cock to myself.
Edgar, make a athletics or acrobatics check, your choice.
We all know where I'm going with that. That's gonna be a 17.
Oh fuck, you got a 60.
Suck my
Whoa.
fucking dick.
His sword dispels from existence after blocking your blade. It vanishes into nothing, just a blast of flame, and his hand reaches out, and with a quickness he goes to grab at you, and you manage to push him away instead. After that, he turns, and... let's see here. I need a dexterity saving throw from you three here.
Ba, 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 ba.
7.
7, okay. You fail.
12 for me.
12, you fail.
22.
You're okay, so you take half this
Yeah.
damage. Turning over towards you, a flame bursts out of his helmet here and spews all over you. And the total damage there is... let's see... 11, 12, 15 damage. You can round down.
Fuck.
Do
All
we?
right. Since I'm a tiefling, do I get resistance on top of that?
Ah, it is flame damage, so yeah, you can cut it in half.
So
So it's 15 damage that he did.
Yes.
God damn it.
So
Trying to-
50,
Are you still
15
alive,
down.
Overload?
down to 7 or 8.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I'm just fixing my card here.
Roll initiative.
I've got 10 health.
Oh shit, he rolled a 1.
Really, Ashley?
If-
Really?
Alright. I could do
Evolution.
Yes.
Well, 15 halved, rounded down to 7, and then halved that again. Is it down to 3?
Sure.
Okay, just making sure.
Whoops.
It looks like Annie's first again.
Yeah,
Oh, 19.
I like to roll 19s and 20s when it doesn't matter.
What? Initiative matters.
So important.
Yeah.
If things are going sideways, you're the first one that gets to peace.
I thought you were just gonna stop at P. And I was gonna be like, alright.
I invoke incontinence.
Cure him.
Oh, did you figure out your damage? Can I go?
It's your turn, yes.
Yes.
Alright, perfect. I wanna come in on this side here and be like, stabbing him in between the shoulder blades. I'm sorry, I'm out of it. Holy cow.
Oh, hey.
Oh, okay, so you said it hits? I don't
Yes.
have to add my mod.
I said, oh hey, but yeah, you'll hit.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Don't drive forever and then play D&D, alright? This is how it goes. I'm not even kidding you. Oh, and with my rapier, but I guess that doesn't matter. 6 plus... oh my god.
8 damage.
8?
Why did I roll a d6?
Sneak attack.
Stick attack. Okay.
Sneak attack.
Wait, what's the damage?
Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-blah.
10.
10.
10.
We did it.
We did it, guys. We made it through the.
Is
Do I
that
need
your
to
turn?
repost the video into general again?
Yeah, you do. No, I want to make an attack with my dagger too.
Okay.
18.
18. That hits as well.
Perfect.
Oh.
6.
Fuck, I could use Stone's Endurance.
Do you get your proficiency bonus on your offhand?
That's what I was thinking.
Oh, do I?
Thanks.
No.
Not
I
unless
don't-
you have a
does it
thing
not
for
hit?
it.
Yeah, it's just 4 damage.
Okay.
Oh, 4. Okay. Why does it say +2 on my sheet? My sheet lies to me.
There we go. And is that your turn, Annabelle?
Yeah. It won't let me delete it.
I fucking hear the thing in the background.
It too.
If you use it on your main hand, you get the bonus.
Oh.
It is.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
Kalik, you are up.
Seeing as my Sacred Flame is working just like last time we fought something like this, I'm just gonna use that again.
Okay. It'll roll and it rolls above a 16.
Yep.
So it passes this time. Is that your turn?
I'll say you haven't snuffed out the paladins quite yet.
The thing turns towards you as you call this out, and you're speaking in its language, right?
Yeah.
It seems to take an interest in you, at least for the moment. Is that your turn?
Yep.
Okay. Edgar, you're up. What do you want to do?
Well, I'm on death's door, so do something about surviving, I guess. Sorry, guys. Okay. I'm gonna use my action to cast Lay on Hands,
Okay.
and I'm gonna use all. What do I have? 10 points.
If you're level 2 paladin, I think 10.
Yeah, so I'll use all 10 points to heal myself,
Okay.
and that's it. On my turn.
Alright. Tidge, you're up. What do you want to do?
All right. Arillo, how are you looking?
I have 10 health.
He's
Okay.
peachy.
Peachy. All right. And then Edgar
Peachy
just healed
man.
himself.
Tear
But
it
all
down.
right. So first thing, I'm gonna throw. I'll just maintain my witch bolt.
Sure.
So, oh great, that's a powerful 2.
Okay.
And then as a bonus action, I'll use my healing light feature to heal Arillo up a little bit. So you get 1 amazing hit point back.
Okay, that's better than, 10.
Is it? Oh. And that'll be my turn. And I'll just keep focusing on the
Yo, Witch
friggin'
Bolt
lightning
is
coming from my
legit.
hand.
Yeah, Witch Bolt is legit. Just keep it up, homie.
Arillo,
Yep.
it's your turn.
Got a mark down.
Alright. Before I start my turn, can I have another note card?
Another NARP card?
Note card.
Did I hear
grab
that correctly?
Yeah.
Oh, it's right here.
Yeah.
Grab it.
The one that says note cards.
There we go.
You probably
Got
didn't
it.
understand
Wait,
because it
it's
said
got
note cards
it's
and
got
not
shit
NARP
on.
cards.
You just delete it.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Alright. That's gonna be my health card. Okay. I'm gonna move, actually. I'm
You
gonna
could just
move
grab a
right
counter.
here. That's true, I could have done that.
Yeah, that's what I
This
did.
way, I can still hit it. Alright. Now I'm gonna attack. Hopefully this time I get hit. Oh! Oh, wait, that's a 19. Plus 5.
That
So
definitely
that
hits.
is an attack. Alright.
That is an
damage.
attack.
Woohoo. That is 9. I forgot that I'm a barbarian. I haven't used my rage at all. I should have been doing that.
Yeah, you get extra damage.
Yeah.
And resistance.
Yeah. I wish I thought about this stuff before,
You're just
playing.
not a very angry person. It's okay.
No,
You're
I
gonna
really
have to,
was like a
you're gonna have to
calm
spell
dude.
out riposte again. Like, you remember.
Rage.
Pasta, isn't it?
Free pasta. Yeah.
When your pasta isn't pasta enough.
Mm-hmm. Is that your turn,
Don't
Arillo?
go to Italy, just repasta.
Yep.
Okay.
How do I rotate this card?
E or Q.
Here. Yep. Figured that out. There we go.
Ooh. Well. So many juicy targets. I'm gonna roll a 1 to 6 here to see who it goes after. Let's see. Yeah, doesn't work. That doesn't work. Need a 1 to a 4. Okay. This thing turns towards you for a moment, Annabelle, and the sword rematerializes in its hand as it swings out. Does a 24 hit?
Oh, of course.
You should have told him no.
I mean,
He could
that
have
would
bought
be
that.
that would be a lie, and there's no way he would have bought that.
You take 10 slashing damage, and 1 fire damage,
Okay.
which as a tiefling you can just round out of existence.
Okay, so I take 10 damage.
And then he'll turn towards you, Edgar, and make an attack on you as well. Does a 16 hit?
It does not.
Okay. Roll initiative, everybody. He'll move in this direction. There we go. Fuck, why are my rolls so garbled?
2.
First up is Kalik.
Seeing my Sacred Flame didn't really work last time, I will now use my rifle.
Okay.
Try to
Roll your
blast.
attack. Oh,
Not good. It's just plus 4 to hit, so that's only a 12.
okay. You hold out your gun, a loud bang echoes throughout the room, and your shot misses, colliding with a rock wall behind. It chips off of a small piece.
Swear under my breath, reload.
Okay.
And
How is this guy looking, by the way?
The flame inside of him looks like it's dimming, but that's pretty much all you've got.
Okay.
And that's...
yeah, that's my turn. I'm gonna save my last spell slot.
Gotcha. Edgar, you're up.
Having been on the brink of death, I'm gonna do an all or nothing move. I'm gonna cast, as a bonus action, Thunderous Smite,
Oh, shit. Okay.
and I'm going to roll for an attack. Come on, fuck. 17.
You miss.
Fucking cock-a-doodle fuck.
Yep. It's a suit of armor. You strike a plate there, and it, like, blows the magical energy off to the side harmlessly. You see, like, an already disheveled bookcase behind him takes the wave of force and crumbles even more.
Well, I end my turn. Nothing else I can do.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, Thunderous Smite, like, stays
Yeah.
until
it
you
persists
land
for
or
a
until the
minute.
concentration's broken or something, so you might still get something out of it. But, Tidge, it's your turn.
Okay. Maintain my bolt.
Okay.
Come on. Alright, 6. And then I will use my second use of my healing light for Annabelle just took a shot, so we'll go with her. 3 hit points.
This is sweet.
And I have one more use of that
Alright.
for reference.
Is that your turn?
Yes.
Okay. You can both make opportunity attacks as the creature leaves and goes towards Tidge.
Excellent. It's nice knowing y'all.
Alright, Gizmo.
Uh.
Oh! Base God in the suitor! 22.
22. Yes.
No, 22 hits. Okay. So, upon hitting him, I will also Divine Smite. For big dick damage. So let's see here if I can erase him from the face of the earth. So that's a 1d8.
You can also get your Thunder Smite, right?
Yeah, of course. 1d8 is for sword. 2d6 is thunder.
2d6.
And my divine is 2d8. Tabarnak de calice, c'est bon, là. And I'm gonna have a +2 because of dueling, so fucking see what happens, boys. That's 16 damage. Yeah, sorry. 5, 6, 7, 8 of that is thunder.
Okay.
We'll say the 4 here is divine radiant, and then the 2 are, or sorry, 5 is radiant, and then 1 is the. Oh no, it's more than that. My bad. Give me a second. Sorry. 14 plus 2 because of dueling is 16, but I didn't even add my modifier. Plus 3. So that's 19 damage. Sorry. 5 of that is radiant. 8 of that is thunder.
Okay. I'm gonna make his strength save.
Sorry, my fucking brain just... I couldn't understand all the
Shit,
math.
bad.
Okay. The creature goes to step away. Kalik, you can understand it as it calls out. It turns over and says, "You arcane pest, I'll devour you," and it moves over in his direction when a loud explosion is heard throughout the room as Edgar's sword comes down with a shining light, and all the, books and pages in the room rustle in unison. And the creature's flame goes from being this huge bonfire constricted to the confines of the armor to almost disappearing for a second. And it shrinks down to that of like a torchlight, but it continues to walk over towards you, Tidge, and makes 2 attacks.
I did what I could, homie.
Yep,
It
those
did
are
like
good.
almost
Okay.
20 damage. So.
The 2 1s really hurt you.
Here we
Yeah,
go.
it did.
The first one's an 18.
Oh yeah.
Oh, for sure there, buds.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
fucking
11
K there.
slashing. And
All right.
1 flame.
Oh,
That's
fucking
just the first attack, right?
Yes. Are you still
Bobby
cautious?
Orr, good Canadian kid.
Fern now.
Okay, he makes a second swing.
Oh my god.
What's his modifier just for fun? If it's more than 3, then I'm fucked. Or if it's 3, I'm fucked. No, I'm just kidding. Kill me.
Jesus, that's depressing. What's really sad is none of us can heal you if you go down. So.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm all out of lay on hand.
I'm
16 damage.
How much? 16?
16.
Okay, I'm not outright dead,
Oh.
fortunately,
Jesus.
but I'm out.
Okay. He swings again. A large spray of blood goes across the wall here, and Tidge just falls to the ground. There's like a crackling as his spell disappears from existence, and he falls to the ground. After that, the creature turns over, and where is he?
Dude, I just had to use all 10 of my lay on hands, didn't I?
Over here.
No
It
longer in the
is
contract because he's dead.
your turn, Aurelio.
Dude, the lay on hands is a long rest. I don't know.
The panic is setting in. He's panicking.
Seeing
Wait,
what
wait,
happened.
Wait. Kalik has medicine powers. He's a smart boy.
Seeing what happened to Tidge. I'm
Freaking
gonna-
out!
Get mad.
I just did. I blew my wad on 2-1.
I blew my wad.
I'm going to enact my rage.
There you
Okay.
go.
I'm gonna get pissed,
Get mad. Yep.
and I'm gonna attack and miss.
It was a valiant effort.
You really conveyed how mad you were.
I've got noodles in my mouth. That's it.
Is that your turn, Noodle Boy?
Yeah,
Annabelle,
What
you're up.
kind of noodles?
ramen, chicken flavored.
That's the wrong answer.
We're not sponsored.
Dollar Shave Club, please. Audible, call me up.
I'm gonna move into his melee range and stab him with my stabby things.
Okay.
Ooh,
Oh, or not. 14.
You miss, unfortunately. Your rapier end bounces off of one of the metallic plates as you lunge forward.
Alright, well, we'll try again with the dagger then. Just, we can. Okay!
Not even
Okay!
close.
Not even close, baby.
Can I?
But you gotta secretly get real close.
Guys, we gotta stop
Oh,
using attack rolls against this fucking monster.
right.
Is that your turn?
I guess.
Everybody
So I
roll
can do-
initiative.
Please. Please beat the beast. Please.
Ooh, it
please.
finally got a decent initiative.
Wait a minute, I just rolled a D.
Why?
It's all turning around.
Guys, I rolled a nat 1, so that's fine.
That's okay. That's
I
okay.
know.
It means
Gives
We'll
me a
kill-
long time before I gotta roll that save.
yeah. You mit roll.
I
The
haven't
Mitt
killed
Romney
a
of
party
rolls.
all week. Annie, it's your turn.
Yeah. Well, we'll try again.
Lucian's bloodthirsty.
Ooh, it never stops. Oh shit, you hit him.
22.
Holy fuck, I didn't know you could do that.
I didn't
Damn.
either.
I intentionally made it impossible.
Woo.
6,
Plus 2.
so 8, and 9. And I'd like to stab him again if I can.
Sure.
You baited me once.
You're applying
Wow.
sneak attack, right?
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, sorry.
One.
You lunge forward, and your rapier pierces past the armor, stabbing at the flame. And when it does, and when you pull the rapier back out, you can see that a portion of it has been heated, as though it's been in like a blacksmith's forge for a moment. And the creature's flame just goes out, and all the armor falls to the ground in a loud, like incredibly loud, close to the sound of the gunshot or the thunderous smite, crumpling noise. You watch as the pieces of armor just kind of like constrict on themselves and turn into balls of metal and just kind of like
Sauron!
roll together until it eventually becomes like a single large ball and then just comes to a stop as a perfect black sphere of some sort of metal, and you guys are no longer in combat.
Hey,
I'm running over to Tidge.
I am also running
Yeah.
over.
Tidge.
Now, you'd be able to get over there, Annie. Kalik, you'd be able to get over there as well. Kalik, how about you make a
I
medicine
was
check?
right there.
I'm not going to use that. I'm going to, seeing it like how much damage and blood he lost from that one attack. I'm going to take out the golden chain from my pocket, grab his hand, put it in it, and cast Healing Word.
Okay. Last spell slot is cast. Go ahead and roll the heal.
Oh, why am I rolling a d20?
Damn, that's a lot of heals.
7!
Fucking back in my day, healing word was a piece of shit, but now I don't.
1d4 plus my spell mark.
It's a piece of shit.
Oh, damn.
You heal for 5.
Okay.
Nice.
5 HP comes back to you here, Tidge. Your eyes open up, you're in the room again, and the creature is gone. Your concerned teammates are gathered around you. You're in horrible pain, but it seems that you're still alive.
Ugh. I'm in horrible pain. Where the fuck is it? Is it still alive?
No.
I'll be like glancing around
You have no faith in us.
frantically.
Okay.
The battle raged on for hours after it passed out.
Did it? I must have a strong constitution then when I go down.
Yeah,
Jesus.
you've been hanging on for
layer.
quite a while.
Well, Gaelic, I've got to assume that you're the one who brought me back. Thank you.
You're welcome. And I'll leave the golden chain in his hand. Like stand up. Start looking at the others.
Oh, damn, that's a throwback and a half right there.
What?
Well, the golden chain is what, if I'm not mistaken, Tidge lost on the ship,
Yep.
which I won back, which I gave to Kalik, which he's giving to Tidge when he saved his life. Oh my god! It's like
Oh my god.
it's like a story or something.
Ha.
Damn.
I'll just like instinctually be gripping it, but paying more attention to what may remain of this library.
This library is much like the last. Everything has been torched and ruined. There is no book left untouched.
Fuck.
I'm beginning.
It's actually
Percent
worse than the
15?
last one. It's like, it's almost,
Rude.
it's fresh. Like you can smell cinders in the room and coal. Whereas in the other one, it was kind of like old and dusty. You know what I mean? Like this is like somebody has recently put this place to the flame.
If you tell us it's Theo, I swear to fuck. I will lose
Ironic.
my shit.
Can I?
Can I-
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, can I look around and see if I can find any other indication? Like I saw some evidence of a book being present. I'd like to see if I can find any evidence of the tome having been here, or any indication that something similar might be around.
You're looking for any indication that there was a special tome. Okay, sure. Make an investigation
Or any
check.
hints that might be in the quest. That would be a 24.
The place is badly torched, and it's even more difficult to pick out what has happened here than the last one. But you do manage to find something. Over in the corner, there's a broken down sort of box of wood that has partially survived. You realize after a moment that the pieces laying on the ground next to it are actually burnt and soot-covered glass, and you realize that it's a case that you're looking at. It's like a small little bookcase, large enough to hold a single tome in reverence almost. And there inside, you see that there is some flame, but the outline of something taken instead of burned has been left.
Okay. Fuck. Late again. Son of a bitch. I'm just gonna kind of be lost in thought.
Sure.
Wait, I was poking turnip guy.
Oh, okay. The ball on the ground?
Yeah.
Do you actually touch it with your hand?
No, with my sword.
Okay. Just checking. For a friend.
Seeing her play with it and not feeling too comfortable, I'd like to see if I can divine sense it
Ooh,
and see what I sense from that shit.
sure. Let's see here. I would like you to make a charisma roll. Straight charisma.
I'd like to think my sword is still
I
hot.
think I'm so charismatic, am I right? Only straight charisma? That's a 16. So pretty high.
Okay. You can definitely feel something. It's not a life force, it's like the residual essence of a demon having been there that you can feel.
Residual essence of the demon.
Yeah. So, generally when you use Divine Sense, you can feel if there's like an evil nearby or a strong
Yes.
sense of good. Sometimes, if it's like, let's say, a very diminutive creature, like an imp or whatever, it'll have like a very small sort of signature that you can feel, right? In this case, it's like just the faintest, like so little that it barely hits on the register, but there's a little bit of that left over.
I'm gonna take the risk then, and saying a prayer to Metri, I'm gonna hold my holy symbol and palm first with it touching the sphere before my hand. I'd like to put my hand on the sphere and then whisper a prayer.
Oh, interesting. I'd like you to make a wisdom check, please.
To see if it's retarded or not. Nice. Wisdom, just straight wisdom?
Yes.
That's 15.
You guys feel and watch as a rush of wind comes rushing down through the hall into the room and swirls like an eddy around its center. Book pages and bits of ash are suddenly thrown against the wall in a large swirl as a tornado threatens to be born into existence in the room that you're in, as Edgar leans down at the center of the storm and holds onto the orb for a brief moment. Mutters, with one hand holding the orb and the other one with his holy symbol in hand. The holy symbol seems to glow for a brief moment, and you watch as the orb that you're holding there changes color from being a jet black to just a solid. It's like it changes from metal to being a crystal, and you're holding a perfectly spherical crystal ball, much like the kind that like a gypsy would use to, kind of see into the future or off into distant corners of the world. So
I'll kind of smile to myself, and I'll just roll that over to Tidge.
Sure. Tidge, if you'd like to take it, you can add a small crystal ball to your inventory.
Sure. That was incredible. I didn't know you could do that.
I didn't know you could tell the future.
Mm-hmm.
What's
Yeah,
in
you-
mine?
Well, go see Tidge. He'll have your fortune.
Edgar, can I,
I'm gonna skip over there.
if you'd let me use that pearl, I could identify that ball.
You mean the collateral against
Yes.
your loan?
Yes.
Huh. Interesting. I can wait.
All right.
And I'll look at him. Look, in all honesty, do you sense anything magic from that? Because my
Well,
intuition...
it just almost took off Tidge's head.
Right, but my intuition is the thing that almost took off Tidge's head was what I just purged from that thing.
Do I sense any like lingering like magic properties to this thing?
No, it's just like a large crystal. You know, it could have magical properties. Who knows? Magical items are like that sometimes, but you don't feel
Nice
anything.
try, Connor.
That was me. Doesn't seem like there's much left to it.
Fair enough.
Oh, it
Does
could
there
be
seem
Can
to
you
be-
anything.
use it to tell my future?
Sweet Jesus, Mother of Christ.
Edgar that you could.
Do I really look like I'm in the condition to be contacting the spirit world?
Well,
You say it, talk to your god all the time.
Look, Tidge, most gypsies are old and decrepit and on death's door, so if anything, you're more qualified now.
Well,
Sauvage!
get back to me in a little bit. I'm a little out of it.
Well, we can't go out into the mountain range, so might as well rest up here.
Great, we get to spend another creepy night in a tomb.
Think of it as a slumber party. Tidge can tell your fortune all night.
I'm so
Oh, yes.
excited, Tidge.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it to myself.
Tell me when you're ready.
Sure. I've got a thing to do though. I've got to go have a chat with someone.
I'm starting my long rest here. I'm just like, oh, fuck.
I'm gonna go take a quick breather in the hallway
Okay.
and see if I can get a hold of the librarian.
I'll start to look around the room to see if there's anything I can mend.
Sure. You travel off down the hall, and I want you to make a luck roll, please. Roll a 20.
Is this a D20 this time?
Make sure you don't have a 12. Nothing
Is
happens.
this 6 good enough?
Mm-mm. You've been able to contact the librarian before. He's a god that seems to be watching over you, and you know you can kind of call to him, get his presence every now and then, but not this time.
Okay.
Maybe,
I'll just kind of like.
table
Mhm.
talk. I was just an idea. Maybe go talk to the rock face outside. See what he thinks about us purging evil from his mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if Tidge would think of that. It was just table talk idea.
Right now, he's going to just. I'm just gonna like close my eyes for a second and just take in like a big sigh and think about what happened. But then I'm gonna go right back inside.
Okay. Are you guys taking a long rest here?
Yeah.
I suppose so.
I'm gonna roll luck here. Kalek, unfortunately, nothing here is in a decent enough condition to be repaired. It's been incinerated. The heat that emanated from that suit of armor, who knows how long it was in here, but it did a number on all of the different books and pages, and can't seem to use mending to bring anything back. Now, long rest does happen, and you guys do eventually heal up. So go ahead and change your health and get back your features and everything. You wake, presumably the next day, there's a light that comes in from way down the tunnel and in the cave and everything, so you can tell it's daytime out, whatever time it is.
How you feeling, Tidge?
Better for sure. I definitely needed that. But
Guys- Oh, sorry, go ahead.
oh, unfortunately, the librarian's been a bit quiet lately. He might be tending to one of his other followers. Few and far between they may be. Can't be
Well,
focused on me all the time.
Maybe. Although I'd like for you to consider what we talked about before.
What, Woj?
No, about how Woj might have been where we should have gone, and maybe this librarian of yours has ulterior motives. You promised me that you would consider it after this. We've done it. We're too late, despite coming here in basically taking the fastest route we possibly could have. I just don't want to be going on a wild goose chase.
Best I can tell, we are only just too late. Now, I'm not saying that we don't. I mean, we have no other leads but Woj right now. So, but it looks like we just missed whoever was here. Like the Temple of Despair was
I mean,
torched
really
a
miss
long
him?
time ago.
Or did we just kill him?
that crystal ball might be a lead. Just saying.
I mean, we are just a couple of days away from the technological capital of the Empire here, so they may know something.
Well,
Yeah, but would we have to pay for their knowledge?
most likely, yeah.
That's irritating.
Well, we're on borrowed cash right now, although this little expedition brought us absolutely nothing in return, which is a bit concerning. So,
I mean, we
don't know
cleansed the
about
Dark
that.
Prison, so
I mean, I understand that, but cleansing dark
I see what you're
presence
saying.
doesn't exactly pay the bills.
We found another burned library.
Yeah,
look, we're
Well-
definitely on the right track.
Sensitive.
just an idea, but I would like to consider the option of heading back to Oris Ren, possibly finding the bandits on the way. If not, repaying the loan that I took out with all due haste, because I'm not sure we're going to be needing that much, and the interest is quite intense after the 90-day period. I don't want to be heading all the way down to Woj, not knowing when we can come back.
Interesting.
I'm fine with that.
As you all know, this loan wasn't something we did as a party. It was something I did on a borrowed name and not my own. So I would like to pay it back, not have anyone fall into deep water, and from there we can maybe take some odd job, which if it's urgent.
Yeah, until I can get a hold of, either figure out what to do, or get a hold of the librarian myself again. Yeah,
And that bounty for the bandits, maybe we don't dismember them, but if we can guarantee that they won't bother passerbys on the road anymore, it could be, there could be some compensation there. I'll be honest with you all, Kalix's observation is kind of gnawing at me since I woke up. He's right. While we had something urgent to do here, those criminals still prey on the weak on the road, so why not make some coin and solve that problem while we wait?
What if I have an idea? What if we don't dismember the and I don't know, you're probably against this too. You know, we don't have to dismember them, but what if we took the fingers off the charred bodies that we found in the little clearing? It was the hills, right? With charred bodies, right?
yeah, it's like the edge of the woods.
Mhm.
Yeah. What if we took fingers off them?
And lie to the people of Oris Ren?
What happens
Well,
when we
we-
find out when the bandits are still there?
We don't have to kill the bandits, right? They just want them to stop doing what they're doing.
Well,
Does that make sense?
it does. No, and I'm considering it. and it's a decision we all have to make, and it's a good one because at the end of the day, you're taking tokens, I guess, from the dead rather than the living. That's assuming, of course, we can solve the problem with the bandits peacefully, which I hope we can.
Chat says kill the bandits. They are bandits.
They're more than bandits, chat. They're people too. Hashtag
Bandits are people.
Not all
too.
bandits.
not all bandits. Well, might as well get moving. Is everyone okay with us heading back to Oris Ren though?
Yeah.
I suppose.
Right,
so.
I'll be on finger duty.
Annabelle, if we have to, okay, but and I'll kind of laugh at myself because Edgar wouldn't be a pussyfoot usually, but you know, turning the page and whatnot. I'm not thrilled about desecrating the bodies of the dead either.
They're already
I'm not
buried.
either.
What is the difference? When you're dead, you're dead. You don't go anywhere.
You
You
do.
just turn into dirt.
Jesus, that's it's a pretty
Honey.
cryptic outlook.
Yeah, great, whatever.
Manny.
Well, look, you didn't see them, but the spirits in the previous temple we were in, those were real, and they did go somewhere after they were freed from their torment and their prison.
Yeah, but did
So-
their bodies go anywhere? That
No,
is the point that I'm making.
they were gone. No, you're right. But the question is, and I guess it's a theological one, and I don't think we should get into it here in the middle of a mountain cave with the crystal ball of a demon. But I guess the question is, do we desecrate the soul when we desecrate the body?
Speaking of which, would you please let me identify that ball? It could be lead.
I don't look. It's not a question of the pearl. I just don't think there's anything there. Tidge, did you feel anything in that orb?
I mean, I didn't sense any magic, but it's not like I could tell
What,
exactly what it is.
I'm just eliminating possibility. I'm doing.
I
I
mean-
like to be thorough. I'm sorry.
I'm not against trying to identify it. I mean, you've done this before, right, Caleb?
don't-
It's not like the pearl is destroyed after you do it.
No, it's not a big deal. It's just being.
Oh, is it not?
No.
Okay. And I take the pearl out and I throw it at him. More like a toss, like an underhand toss.
Shatters
Chuck
on the
it at
wall.
him.
Okay. You cast Identify, and this takes a few minutes to set up the ritual. And when you finish, you know that there is nothing magical about the orb whatsoever. It's a mundane crystal. A very nice and spherical one, but a crystal nonetheless.
Interesting. You know what? You're gonna
I'm
be
not-
glad. You're gonna be so glad that I did this. You're gonna
Will
be
I
thanking me
now?
later.
Uh-huh. Can I
There's
insight that?
There was absolutely nothing. No, you don't have to. I'll just admit it. Just be like, I'm sorry. There's absolutely nothing. Laugh all you want. I just
Look,
didn't want there to be a blatant, obvious clue right in front of us in our hands, and then just disregard it.
Okay, like the only reason I was hesitant because I thought you were destroying the only collateral you gave me in the first place.
Of course not.
But
You think I'm an idiot?
and
Here,
I put my
I'll
hand.
I'll hand the pearl right back. I was already holding my hand out.
I'll just kind of pocket that. Shit.
And I'll hand the orb crystal ball back to Tidge.
Oh. Thanks. Suppose we'd best be getting out of here then.
Suppose so.
Okay. You guys identify the ball and decide to leave. Heading down the hallway, when you pass through the door, the stone walls kind of close in. You guys make it out into the cavern afterwards, and then eventually step out into the mountain air once again. Now, where are you going? What are you doing? What are you doing along the way? What's going on? Just going straight back, fast travel to Oris Ren.
Does the path, mate, or does the path continue up the mountain?
You can go further into the mountains, yes.
Guys, I mean, this is a place of... I mean, the Rockface told us this is a mountain of the gods. Perhaps maybe ascending higher might get me the ability to have a little more success.
I'm gonna kind of be skeptical and quiet.
I mean, the mountain face did allow us to come through here, but I wouldn't want to intrude further if we have no reason to.
What does elevation have to do with communication?
Just get a better reception, it seems. The gods are more receptive, I should say.
I get closer to their
But-
ear.
The ones with wings, like mine. But there's wisdoms in your word, Kalik. Seemed like he was more than willing to toss us off the mountain. He seemed like he may have had the ability, so...
Sure, you might. There's a slim chance, I suppose, whatever deity you talk to might be more receptive, whatnot, but I don't know.
Trying him periodically. Bound to get in touch at some point. He's as concerned with this term as I am.
I feel like the risk outweighs the possibility of.
It convinced me. We can just head down.
So
Perhaps-
you guys take a turn on the path and go down?
Where do we talk to the rock face?
A little bit further down, like 5 minutes away.
Tidge, perhaps if you talked to the rock face and mentioned an intruder within the mountain, a presence maybe he wasn't aware of? So he said he knew everything in the mountain.
It's true.
Maybe
Perhaps he knows, or one that he was aware of that wasn't able to stop.
just curious.
If something's powerful enough to know about these secret locations that nobody seems to know about, then they're probably powerful enough to get by a giant rock sentinel.
I mean, it's
I'll
not
chat
just
with
a
him.
sentinel. It's the mountain itself.
I know. I'll chat with him. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying what we're dealing with is not just some bandits running around. Something's going on here. So if you know something, basically what I'm trying to say is if you know something, then it's worth... Yes, I agree with you.
People like better named books. I don't know why.
Neither do I. It's a
Triggered.
senseless waste of information.
My
Mhm.
books.
So as you travel further down the path, you do eventually get to the same point where you were before. There's no rock face to be seen, but you're definitely at that portion of the path.
Can I touch the wall again,
Sure.
where it was before?
Nothing seems to happen when you do.
We killed the mountain guys.
Voice of the mountain, are you there?
My apologies. Yeah,
I wasn't talking to you,
Sorry.
Arillo.
I know. Sorry.
When you speak to the wall, nothing happens.
We've cleansed an evil from this mountain. I'm not asking for thanks, I'm just hoping that we did some good. Hoping that you might be able to help us out a bit.
You guys all see Tidge standing there next to the rock wall, his halfling hand placed on the rock. He speaks to it, calls for it, but nothing seems to happen.
I guess in a last bit of desperation, I'll take the pen out and touch it to the rock face again. Kind of like I did with the book.
Roll luck.
Sure. 16.
There's a grumbling and a rumble from within the mountain as you feel something, almost like it's approaching you through the rock, and then the face presses out where your hand is.
As soon as it gets closer, I'll have taken my hand away, so I'm not like
Sure.
palming his face.
Who calls?
The adventurers that you let pass just the other day. We went to the temple of the librarian. We hope you can feed us a little information. If not, then we'll be on our way and we won't bother you.
I exist to guard the secrets that are to be forgotten, not to make small talk with travelers.
I simply looked and hope to find the source of whatever befouled one of these tombs meant to be forgotten, so that he may never come back again.
Foul, bless. It's all the same to me. Go about your lives and leave, unless the gods would have you back.
Can you tell us nothing?
Make a persuasion check, please, Tidge.
Oh, great. 6.
The stone face rumbles and begins to pull back away
Can
into
I-
the mountain.
Can I interject?
Sure, what do you want to say?
Wait.
It continues to pull
and-
away.
I'll look to my left. I'm a paladin of Metri. I have but one question.
It's almost like the face is pulling away slower as it recedes into the...
Have you noticed a creature come up before us? Foul thing, black, and full of flame.
The thing leaves with a few parting words as it pulls away into the wall and says, No creature of flame has passed here in a long time. The last to come by was also of the librarian's kin, Paladin of Metri. And then it disappears into the rock.
Well, whatever is attacking these libraries either can fool a guardian such as this, which might be doubtful, has the ability to teleport from a library to another, or your theory about this being recent is incorrect.
It's not so much. It's more by recent. I mean, it's more recent than the last one, but I don't know. I have a hard time believing that a member of the librarian's kin did this. Unless they mean another god or another angel.
Tidge, corruption as well as redemption runs through all walks of life, including the librarians. Don't be so quick to discard that option. And I'll kind of like whip my shoulder over my back and start walking down the path.
You're gonna what now? Whip your shoulder over your back?
My shield over my back. Like it's on a
Oh.
rope, so or on a.
You definitely
like a-
said shoulder.
Did I?
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
bad. Shield. I meant shield.
It's okay, we're all retarded tonight, apparently.
Apparently. And yeah, I'll just start walking down.
Okay. Go wandering off. And make it down from the mountain pass here, led by Aurelio. Table talk seems so disconnected. And as you guys get to the bottom... Oh, he's
Oh.
back. Aurelio? Wait for it. Squeeze me?
Nope.
Okay, he's
Not
still
getting
there.
anything.
So with that, you guys get down the path, make it out of the mountains, and we will end the session there. Congratulations on not dying.
Woohoo!
And
Came close, fuck.
It's the first one.
yeah, for sure. Oh, Tidge, before we sign off for the day, before I go to the wait screen, I would like to see from you a injury roll, please.
Injury roll.
Yep, anytime somebody goes down, gotta roll a d20, and I'll tell you if you get an injury.
I can heal it away over time, so don't worry about it. But
Potentially,
it could
yeah.
be bad.
19.
Isn't that very good?
Oh wow, you're lucky.
Yeah.
I
20
gained
is
12
no
hit points.
injury, right?
Tidge, you have a long scar over the side of your cheek that reaches down close towards your mouth and goes like up towards the back of your cheekbone there.
So like half a glass glow smile.
Right, exactly. You can heal it with a Cure Wounds if you wish. It may also disappear with time, but for now your character is scarred. You don't actually get an injury though. You don't get like a penalty to movement or anything like that. You just have a physical representation of a horrible time when you got hit.
All right.
So.
That'd be fun to draw on your character.
You be a man now, son.
Yeah, maybe you'll want to keep it. Who knows? So anyway, I'd like to thank you all for playing. Players, I think you did good. You all survived, and you aced that injury check, managing to walk away without being hobbled or anything, unlike another character, Cough Cough Thursday group.
Damn.
Living up to Welfare Wednesday, you guys are now not only poor, but in debt by hundreds of gold.
We haven't spent any of it, so
Yeah, so we can pay it back, you know.
here's 10 pounds of gold, short guy. Okay, great, thanks.
I'd like to thank the audience for coming by. It's always good to have you, and to all the patrons and people with biddies, you're the reasons that we get to do this. So thank you very much. We'll catch you tomorrow for the last session of the week. Other than that, adios.
Yay, yay.
So I'm currently using my phone to talk to you guys because my computer decided that, you know, it wanted to turn off and restart.
Oh
And
my
then
god,
do
you
a-
haven't disabled Windows Update, have you?
God
No,
damn.
I did. I have it set to 3 a.m.
Just have it set to nothing.
Updates literally don't do anything except
Tell
ruin
it to do
everything.
nothing.